from his ancestors.
Yo, what's up, son? What's up, kid? What's going on, kid? Yo, man, I'm just doing one thing, man. Yo, super follow me, slow time, you know how we be working the cash, move everything around me. Green is the money, dollar bill, yo. I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no job, had second hands. Moms bounced on old man, so then we moved to Shallon Land. A young youth, they're rocking the go-to. No goose, only way I begin to G.O. was drug load. And let's start it like this, son. Rolling with this one and that one, pulling out gats for fun. But it was just a dream for the team who was a fiend. Started smoking rules at 16 and running up big gates and doing hits for high stakes. Making my way on 5 states. No question, I was speed for cracks and weed. The combination made my eyes bleed. No question, I would flow up and try to get the door. Sticking up white boys on ballboards. My life got no better. Same damn low sweater. Times is rough and tough like leather. Figured out I want the wrong rap. So I got with a sick ass click and went all out. Magic keys from cross seas. Rolling in MPVs every week. We made 40 G's. Yo, nigga, respect my a nigga to take knots. Bow, move from the gate now. Cash moves everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash moves everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. 22 long hard years, I'm still struggling. Survival got me bugging, but I'm alive on arrival. I beat back the shape of the streets and stay awake to the ways of the world, cause shit is deep. A man with a dream with plans to make green was fail. I went to jail at the age of 15, a young buck selling drugs and stuff who never had much, trying to get a clutch of what I could not. Making sure not face incarceration, pacing, going upstate's my destination. Handcuffed in back of a bus, 40 of us. Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough, but as the world turned, I learned life was hell. Living in the world no different from myself. Every day I escape from takes, giving chase, selling bass, smoking bones in the staircase. Though I don't know why I took smoke cess. I guess that's the time when I'm not depressed, when I'm still depressed. And I ask, what's your work? Ready to give up, so I seek the old earth. Who explain working hard may help you maintain. To learn to overcome the heartaches and pain. You gotta stick up, kids, come up, cops and crack rocks, straight shots, all on the block, stays hot. Leave it up to me while I be living proof. To kick the truth to the young black youth. The shorties running wild, smoking cess, drinking beer. And ain't trying to hear what I'm kicking in his ear. Neglected for now, but yo, they got to be accepted. That what? The light is hectic. Cash moves everything around me. Free, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash moves everything around me. Free, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash moves everything around me. Free, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Cash moves everything around me. Free, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Machine gun rap for all my niggas in the back, stadium pack, linebacker nigga, flash stack, see through yellow lines, rock a fly jersey in the summertime, girl. Magic marker rap, bleed Benadine, relax, smoke this, coming at your crab ass, coping, snatch your ice off, chilling in the back, throw the lights off, waves, water blend, rhyme flowing, slow motion, thick snare, I feel it like a snail in the ocean. What's your wish? Wanna kringle like Chris? Melodic single dart, snap a nigga just like fish. You fucked up, some rich niggas you done test, yo. Select the wrong department, and niggas pulled up your dress. Style molest that, canal chain nigga, where your vest at? Flex and make me wanna bless that, yo. Saddam Hussein niggas like the torch, we flaming niggas. Autograph that, flatten all the main niggas. The world in the palm of your hand. 23 million of useful land. The scene in the black woman. Double LP from Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. Super freak physique, like Mafia Sadiq. Baby love the Gondolique every day of the week. Super friends wake up, deluxe gourmet beats. The night is right, I might find me a suite. It's a quarter full moon, I ride with a swoon. Well-groomed, dance hall packed full room. Lady move, peep my glides, peep my zoom. Keep them strive, smoke the lie, smoke the boom. Feel the fumes, consume toxic tunes. Hellbound, species 40 ounce typhoon. The
Ultraviolet screen machine, move your body, touch the totem pole, wobble, arc, builders, guard, thrust, beams of light, stop your breathing. It's hunting season, honey eyeballing down for no reason. Grab a close, play post, wine and wax floors. Never mind the laws, cause tonight it's yours.
Propagator of the round, blast more box to my preamp. The can't best to be back and shit don't get black. And 4 bottles, outlet propels throughout my nozzle. Crack your soul like bottles, leave you sip as models. You fad, you couldn't pour one drag off my blunt. You couldn't punch away out of a wet paper bag with scissors in your hands. Bitch the RZA, I stand close to walls like number 4 the lizard. And channel through solar panels, blast off like Roman candles, rap vandals. Fuck your ass like Wild McDaniel. You cocker spaniel dogs, can't fuck with our catalog. Put your lights out and leave your brain inside a fall. It's only natural, actual facts are thrown at you. The impact of blow trees back and crack statues. $1 million rap crews full, check the 6 shit explicit. I crystallized around so you can sniff it. We live this, fitted hats low, conceal the crooked eye. No surprise, verbal stick up, put them high. Rebel eye outlaw, split second on the draw. Blow the door off the shit like bricks of C4. It's yours. The wall in the palm of your hand. It's yours. 23 million of fruitful land. It's yours. The scene in the platform land. It's yours. Young wealthy for who takes land. It's yours. Check out my beaver, baby blue Glock in the safe. See Dorothy in the garden getting skied away. We hold a bell, son, that's my word. Spot a rapper, run him down, throw him out in the third. Yo, check it, I think like the man behind the register. Evergreen smoke in his face, buying power made me treasure. With third down, 6 to go. Flash of strobe lights, some open RZA hit me off lovely and I love him with root beer thoughts. Here's a tennis court for your birthday. The baby face of rap, politic with Sade. Avenging Eagle Crooks, rock the W and Spiegel books. And Hodge Boys Keys came through and stopped the whole joke, spit fire Kangos. Watch Tony train a gang of hoes. Painful like hearing the news, like when your man go. Ears blow, windy at times. Watch the room shake, your girl love to sit out the song. Now watch your water break. The wall in the palm of your hand. 23 million of fruitful land. The scene in the platform man. Double wealthy for who takes class.
Paging me at 5:46 in the morning. I could dawn it, now I'm dawning. Wipe the cold out my eyes. See who's this paging me and why. It's my nigga Pop from the barber shop. Told me he was in the gambling spot. Heard the intricate plot. A niggas wanna stick me like fly paper, neighbor. Slow down, love, please chill, drop the paper. Remember them niggas from the hill up in Brownsville that you rolled dice with? Both the gas nice with. Yeah, my nigga Fame up in Prospect. Nah, them my niggas, nah, love wouldn't disrespect. I didn't say them, they schooling just the niggas that you knew from back when you was clocking minor figures. Now they heard you blowing up like nitro, when they wanna stick the knife through your windpipe slow. So, thank Fame for warning me, cause now I'm warning you. I got the back, nigga, tell me what you gonna do. Damn, niggas wanna stick me for my paper. 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 They heard about the Rolexes and the Lexus with the Texas license plates out of state. They heard about the pounds you got down in Georgetown, and they heard you got half of Virginia locked down. They even heard about the click that brought you locked up, Florida, the fifth coroner, call the coroner. There's gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts ringing. What you think all the guns is for? All-purpose war got the Rottweilers by the door, and I feed them gunpowder so they can devour the criminals trying to drop my decimals. Damn, niggas wanna stick me for my cream, and it ain't a dream. Things ain't always what it seems. It's the ones that smoke blunts with ya, see your picture. Now they wanna grab their guns and come and get ya. Bet your Biggie won't slip. I got the calico with the black talons loaded in the clip, so I can rip through the ligaments. Put the fuckers in the bad predicament. But all the foul niggas went. Touch my cat, fill my Beretta. Fuck when I'ma hit you with your motherfuckers better duck. I bring pain, blood stains on what remains of his jacket. He had a gun, he should have packed it, cocked it, Extra clips in my pocket so I can reload and explode on your asshole. I fuck around and get hardcore. See more to your door, no beef, no more, nigga. Feel the rough, scandalous. The more weed smoke I puff, the more dangerous. I don't give a fuck about you or your weak crew. What you gonna do when Big Papa comes for you? I'm not running, nigga, I bust my gun in. Hold on, I hear somebody coming.
Come on. You're getting close. It's right over here. I'm sure it's Biggie Smalls, Grim, man. I'm sure, motherfucker, come on. You gotta be his motherfucker now. Yeah. Better be this motherfucker's ass. Oh, shit. What? What's wrong? Got on your head, man. I heard that. Oh, shit. You got a red dot on your head, too. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Motherfuckers better know. Lock your windows, close your doors, get the scrolls. My man Ilf left a tech and a 9 at my crib. Turned himself in, he had to do a bid. A 1 to 3, he be home the end of 93. I'm ready to get this paper, G. You with me? Motherfucking right. My pockets looking kinda tight. And I'm stressed, yo Biggie, let me get the vest. No need for that. Just grab the fucking gat. The first pocket that's fat, then take it to his back. Or his ball, I'ma smoke him. Yo, don't fake no move. What? Treat it like boxing. Stick and move. Stick and move. You ain't got to explain shit. I've been robbing motherfuckers since the slave shit. With the same clip and the same 4-5, 2-point blank, a motherfucker sure to die. That's my word. Nigga even try to go guard. Have his mother singing it so hard. Yes, love. Love your fucking attitude. Because the nigga play pussy, that's the nigga that's getting screwed and bruised up. From the pistol whipping, webs on the neck from the necklace stripping. Then I'm dipping up the block and I'm robbing bitches too. Up the herringbones and bamboos. I wouldn't give a fuck if you're in here. Give me the baby rings and the #1 mom pendant. I slamming niggas like Shaquille. Shit is real. When it's time to eat a meal, I rob and steal. Cause Mom Duke ain't giving me shit. So for the bread and butter, I leave niggas in the gutter. Word to mother, I'm dangerous. Crazier than a bag of fucking angel dust. When I bust my gap, motherfuckers take dirt nets. I'm all that and a dime sack. Where the paper at?
But he's sticking you and taking all your money.
Give me the loot, give me the loot. 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 Big up, it's a stick up, and I'm shooting niggas quick if you hiccup. Don't let me throw my clip up in your back and head piece, the opposite of peace. Sending Mom Duke a reef. You're talking to the robbery expert. Step into your weight with your blood on my shirt. Don't be a jerk and get smoked over being resistant. Cause when I lick shots, the shit is specific. Goodness gracious, the papers. Where the cash at? Where the stash at? Nigga, pass that before you get your grave dug from the main thug. 357 slug, and my nigga Biggie got an itchy 1 grip. 1 in the chamber, 32 in the clip. Motherfuckers better strip. Yeah, nigga, peel. Before you find out how blue steel feel. From the Beretta, putting all the holes in your sweater. The money getter, motherfuckers don't better. Rolex watches, the colorful swatches. I'm digging in pockets, motherfuckers can't stop it. Man, niggas come through, I'm taking high school rings too. Bitches get scared for their earrings and bangles. And when I rock it and drop her, I'm taking her donuts. And if she's persistent, baka, baka, baka. So go get your man, bitch, he can get robbed too. Tell him Biggie took it, what the fuck he gonna do? I hope apologetic, or I'ma have to say it. And if I said it, the cocksucker won't forget it.
But he's sticking you and taking all your money.
Give me the loot, give me the loot. 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 screen, and if he start to scream, bomb, bomb, have a nice dream. Hold up, he got a fucking bitch in the car. Fur coats and diamonds. She thinks she a superstar. Oh, Biggie, let me jack her. Kick her in the back, hit her with the gas. Chill, shorty, let me do that. Just get the fucking car keys and cruise up the block. The bitch act shot, getting shot on the spot. Oh shit, the cops! Be cool, fool. They ain't gonna roll up. All they want is fucking donuts. So why the fuck he keep looking? I guess to get his life cooking. I just came home and trying to see central booking. Oh shit, now he looking in my face. You better haul ass, cause I ain't with no fucking chase. So lace up your boots, cause I'm about to shoot a true motherfucker going out for the loot. Woo! How y'all doing tonight, man? How are y'all doing tonight? Those of you who feeling pretty generous, please help out the snowman get back on his feet. Trying to be Carolina strong. Woo! And don't forget, if you want some radio time, hit the snowman up. Woo! Boy. Blerdcon 2022 was a motherfucker, boy. You know, oddly enough, I had my cigars, my liquor, and hung with my niggas. There's some people I knew from last year. What made it funny, right? I was actually voted best DJ of the whole event. And all I had was my phone, my iPad, and my speaker. Excuse me. My speaker. You'd be surprised who people like to hear that old school R&B, old school hip hop. Oh man, we had the party outside, smokers out. Hey, might as well, man. You had a couple of generous people interviewed. Shout out to Orlando Jones for that interview. Wow, great guy. If you haven't seen the Orlando Jones video, please check the archives. Oh man, you know, one guy, Corey, he always dressed up as the Captain America Falcon or Falcon himself, and he said it best. He said, "This isn't just a convention. This feels like a family reunion every time you come." And I usually come there the day before it officially starts, which is Thursday. And what makes it very interesting is that many of times when we go to these conventions, we don't take the time to actually enjoy ourselves. But this year, we enjoyed ourselves. Thursday, my son and his best friend went running around the whole place exploring, found out where the weight room is, found out where the pool was, checked out a lot of stuff, which was all good and cool. I stayed, in the cut, talking to the brethren and the sisters. Trust me. Oh my God. Whew, I tell you, when black women dress up and they look in good shape, they are undefeated. Oh yeah, that Ghost Rider was hard as shit. Oh, the Mihawk. Oh yeah, the Mihawk. He was. Oh man, I need to start sharing the pictures when they had a dude who was dressed up as Zorro, and they met. They were like, yeah. He was like, "What I tell you last time you brought your ass out here? I told you it's on site." Oh my goodness. And you had a couple of girls dressed up as Koopa Troopers, boy. Oh my God. I was easy that night. God
damn, that chick was built. I mean, she was built like my daddy's F-250. Ford tough. Ford tough. And shout out to Cosplay X Twerk. Jesus Christ. There is no fucking way she dressed up as Foxy. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Whew. Yep, you're welcome. Whew. Jesse, where are you, Jesse? I need you, Jesse. Oh, Lord, Jesse, I couldn't handle all that by myself. It was wall-to-wall ass TNA, boy. And I ain't talking about pro wrestling. Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. Help me, Jesus. Dad. Oh, my God. I mean, there was so many chicks out there. Whew, Lord. I swear to everything in my power. It was so hard not to be pervert. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I need to put shit up on my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And YouTube. Oh, there was some great costumes out there, some great video game playing. Uh, man. I never seen so many talented people. They had the 24-hour food trucks with all types of eats. Woo! I'm going to tell you now. One of the highlights of my time, besides Orlando Jones, was just sitting around, listening to good music, playing good games. Actually playing music that made chicks twerk on the tables outside, which is fun. And just meeting interesting people. Imagine 4 whole days. 4 whole days and no issues with black folk. Of course, you had a few Asian dudes, a few white guys, but guess what? It was all love, all love. I think a lot of times my God, Foxy. Uh-uh-uh. I think a lot. I'm sorry, I had to go at cosplay X Twerk's Instagram. Almost had a conniption fit. That I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, shit. Apparently, when apparently I'm a part of the Hoochie Daddy Shorts Club for one of the shorts I wore. I didn't think it was that short, but chicks were complimenting me on my thighs, which I thought was kind of weird. Oh man, oh man. What games did they have? They had Street Fighter Five. Let me see, Dead or Alive. They had some old Neo Geo games like Samurai Showdown, the original and the latest one. They had Tekken 7, Smash Brothers. They had all kinds of games. Good God. They even had Pac-Man. Oh, man. I don't know. Shit. I find me a lady who can dress up like that. I'm no good. No good. No good. Somebody get that naked bullshit out of here. Oh my goodness. Whew. Then they had the costume contest, which was pretty cool. Whew. I swear to goodness, man. Hey, I'm still a man. I don't mind a woman twerking. Just because she twerk doesn't necessarily mean she's a hoe. She might have hoe tendencies. Jesus H. Christ. Ugh. I tell you, Saturday night we literally partied from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. Swear to everything in their power. Whew. Did some networking. I'm gonna talk to the owner of it and see if we can do the security for next year. Hey, your boy trying to make some money and try to keep people safe. Why not do both? I put up a poll. I think a Manosphere meetup should be at Blerdcon. Just saying. Just saying. I might even dress up next year. I'm planning to. But shit, I might even dress up. Might dress up as Captain America. But if that Soldier Boy from the Boys TV show come out, I might have to dress up as Soldier Boy. Every time I keep saying Soldier Boy, I keep thinking about that goddamn song Superman. That I mean, when they twerking for you outside while you smoking cigars and drinking liquor, it is A-OK by me. Mm-mm-mm. I'm gonna tell you what, Koopa Troopa, she had a nice little poopa scooper. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness. That's when you looked at some of them chicks and you were like, Jesus is love. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a ball. My son and his best friend got lost. I told him, just get lost. Make sure your phone's charged. They're pretty well behaved boys, and that was the great shit. That was the great shit. Man. So how was your weekend? Hopefully as well and productive as mine. That'd be tough. Show up as Homelander in the African American flag colors. That'd be tough. I ain't gonna lie, that'd be tough as shit. Oh my god, that'd be tough. Nah, there was a couple of sexy storms, man. There was some. Whew, I'm gonna tell you, like this year, the biggest theme was actually Demon Slayer. So you see a lot of Demon Slayers. Oh man. Appreciate you, Electrician 480. Woo! Oh yeah, damn good time. Kylo Ren. Yeah. I mean, you had a couple of Obi-Wan Kenobis. One dude called himself, the dark Mace Windu, the one who went to the dark side while smoking a blunt. Oh my goodness. Just the interaction, the coolness of it all, man. It was just lovely, man. Just lovely. It just felt so great. Well, probably in a couple of weeks, they'll probably announce the next year's dates. Oh, man, it felt so good. Nice, comfy beds to lay in. Oh, God, great showers. It was a never-ending well that was so well. Oh, well. There's a couple of girls who showed up as Reva. They were nice with it, though. Mm. There was actually one chick in the picture, and another one showed up as Mrs. Monarch. Mrs. Monarch from the Venture Brothers. I think they're going to try to expand to get a larger crowd coming. I mean, it was huge. So, Blerd community, come on out. Especially, I'm trying to do a panel for old school comic book lovers and the movies that pissed you off. Would they get a, theater interpretation of your favorite characters and ruin it? Oh, man. The cigars went so far, but the liquor made it look thicker. Woo! I tell you. Mm. It was nothing like just waking up that Friday, going to get our, badges. And you just looking at chicks and you be like, God damn. And one thing I love about cons is that it lets a girl bring out her inner hoe. Yes. And I don't judge you for that. Yes. I don't judge you for that. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that was a throwback, Jim. If you look at my thumbnail, that's what Shorty was dressed like, Mrs. the Monarch. Oh man. Oh man. Hey, nothing wrong with a girl who could dress up, man. I mean, oh man, I love it. I love it. what made it even more interesting is the fact that, like, if you're a DJ out there, you gotta, and you attract a 35 and over group, there's a need for you. There's a need for you. I'm gonna put the link here for whoever wants to talk about whatever. Talk about your favorite comics or whatever the conversation leads. Oh yeah. Oh yes, they got the Inner 304 coming out on these cons. Think about it. You can dress in the skimpiest shit. Like, I mean, one chick, she had asses wiggling. I mean, titty jiggling, asses wiggling. I mean, shit. Nothing like nobody's business. Now, you think she's gonna feel bad about that? No, no. You think I'm gonna judge her because she wants to dress that way? No.
Bro, bro, if you go on like you've been going on for one more year, it's 3 years in a row. I'm gonna have to find myself to one of these motherfuckers because you has absolutely been acting a straight up donkey, having a good time fool. And man, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you enjoy yourself. But I was like, man, I ain't heard from my dog, man, 2, 3, damn 4 days. I'm like, I caught the Orlando Jones shit while I was working through the heat and some of the others. I was like, damn, Charles ain't put up shit. He just been partying like a rock star.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's what Charles is supposed to do in a situation like that.
I was
I mean, I was having so much fun with the videos you were putting up, Charles, especially with what was that? The ones you put up today with Doctor Strange. Boy,
yeah.
I was laughing like crazy.
Yeah, that was funny as fuck. That was funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Charles, I got a question for you. What day can we team up this week? Because I know you gave me a time of 7:00, and I know you're just getting back from Virginia.
Yeah, I'm just getting back, getting finished doing busy shit. Give me about Wednesday. I should be good. Wednesday around 3ish.
About three on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That'll work because my wound care nurse would be gone. I'll be here in my office. Yeah, we can team up then
All right.
and get a live stream out. I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna do an impromptu one. Probably in about 40 minutes.
Okay.
So to everyone in the chat, please join me because my goal is to get us back home, and every dollar raised will help. I'm talking about getting vehicles, getting a place, making sure bills are paid, and I get a good salary so I can take the pressure off my wife. Because after today's conversation, and I'll spill more when I go live, because after today's conversation and she broke it down for me, oh yeah. And then seeing Charles online, yeah, I need to do a Monday night fundraiser.
Gotta do the fundraiser, man.
We got to.
Get up here,
Yeah.
artist. God damn it, artist, to get up here. Because I was
Yeah,
like,
get up here, Artisan.
I gotta.
I had fun chatting with Artisan. I think it was
No,
Saturday night.
it's on up here because he got some shit to say to you. I know he did.
Oh yeah.
His ass should have been there too, but he been too busy.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. But Charles, it's good to see you. I can't wait to team up with you Wednesday afternoon and we do a live fundraiser. And I want to do it on your channel. Um, because you have more traction than I, and I love that. And I love the fact that you pay me homage every time because and the thing I'm gonna spit about tonight besides sports is men's rights.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I found out from a friend that her husband got screwed after his short-term disability ran out. He lost his job.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just one example after another, and after another. And seeing you having fun at Blerdcon, and wanting to do the Manosphere meetup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a chance. It's a chance next year for men to really get together, to hang out, meet people, and you know I'm gonna have the wife in tow. I have to. After we both celebrate 50 this year, we'll be on our way to celebrating 51 next year and
Oh yeah.
doing it in style.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna dress up as next year.
All
I'm
right,
dress up as Rick James Flair.
there you go. I told you the idea.
That's
Charles, I
overkill.
told you the idea I had.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna dress up as Rick James Flair, baby.
There you go.
The greatest
Styling and profiling.
styler, motherfucker.
Styling and profiling.
Greatest
No other
styler
way.
profiler on this side of the earth.
No
I
way.
need
No
to
way
get
to be. No other way to be. Well, you know
I
the
mean,
idea I had with
what's that?
Jody being with me. I told you, Charles. If they have like a game show set up, I wanted to turn into Price's Right doors, and I'll
Oh
walk through that bitch.
yeah, they,
Charles,
yeah.
what you gonna do? You gonna go through there, walking through there, talking about, give it to me, baby. Woo!
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's how
They'll
you
be like,
do it. That's how you do it, man.
Give me, baby. Woo!
find the boots, find the
Hmm.
robe, find the hair. I already got the big gold belt, so shit.
You
Like
deserve that belt, man.
like who like how
You
damn it,
des-
greatest motherfucker of all time.
You know what I might do though, just to counter that. I might I might be the Black Stone Cold Steve Austin,
That'd be
or do an impression of The Rock because I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna get buff, and I
yeah.
want that bad mother. I want the vest that says BMF,
Oh
bad
yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'll just be like the greatest of all times, motherfucker. The greatest of all time. With my
Yeah,
little
me and
head.
Charles would be a tag. Me and Charles would be a tag team.
They're like, who are you? I'm Rick James Flair. They're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yep.
They'll be like, that's a hell of a mashup, baby. Woo! Dear tag.
Oh, and Charles, I'll get my strengthening bands this weekend
Oh yeah. That's what's up.
because Casey, my physical trainer, is due to come here tomorrow and kick my ass with my leg exercises. But that is so cool to be um getting strength back, to be working out again little by little. And I'm able to I can't do a full squat yet, but I'm like halfway down and can get up with no problem. So
We gotta work on that.
yeah, we
One
must.
day at a time, snowman. One day at a time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was raising hell this morning doing my morning show, loving every minute of it. I'm working on tomorrow's show, getting all those scheduled tweets out, and Wednesday as well. Um, Speaking of which, Charles, do I have to tape an interview with you and air it next day, given your schedule?
I mean, we could do it live. Just hit me up. Give me
Okay,
a call. See, so we share.
okay, okay. Um, I'll do that. I'll bring you on during my birthday week,
Oh yeah.
which is next week because
Celebrate, motherfucker. Celebrate.
fuck yeah, man. Kicking blood clots in the ass, kicking COVID in the ass, and cancer. I'm ready to celebrate number 50.
Oh yeah, gotta celebrate in style, man. Gotta celebrate in style.
And
See
the
it, see
first way I'm going to celebrate in style is a dance with my wife.
it. Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest ways I'm going to celebrate number 50. I know I'm going to be on air raising all sorts of hell and having fun doing it. And AL, what I might do for you, because I know you pop in, is what Charles did. Put the link out there and invite people to come up.
Hell yeah.
Hey, tell my man Cole Johnson what's good, man. That's my new main man.
I will. I will.
Oh yeah.
Hey, AL, I got something for you. Will they ever bring back the summit, that great building of Clutch City?
Every time you talk about my town and talk about bringing this and bringing that back, you know you just be breaking my heart right now, man. I just got to let you know this. I'm
Listen,
gonna tell you.
my heart's
I'm,
broke.
I'm,
Look, my heart's broken too because I missed that building. I missed that building.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Houston ain't doing nothing but just being ass backwards to be ass backwards. We got the Astrodome. We got the Astrodome right next door to the Reliance Stadium. Why don't you just get on to the University of Houston, let them re-renovate it, and play
Oh,
all
yeah.
that games? But
You
no,
just
you want to upgrade a
didn't they for a
23,000.
while? Didn't U
They
of H
gave
for a while play in the Astrodome for like
They
4
used
years?
to play Astrodome to they quit in '94. They quit in '94.
94.
I got my state in that building in the fall of '91.
Okay.
They closed it with when '08 Bud Adams burnt rubber and left. Fucking
Oh,
coward.
God. Yeah. But
Cocksucker.
I miss the Astrodome.
About
I'm
the
gonna dare
summit.
AL, I'm
The
gonna dare
summit.
myself to you. I miss the Astrodome. I miss the
Well,
summit.
what you call it about the summit, and then he left the summit, Joe Osteen. So the
Mm.
summit's still there. They not I guess they do small events or whatnot in there.
It just needs to be the summit again. Okay. I
They need
know it
to
was
get
the Combat Center
a
for a
summit to U of H. They need to get an Astrodome to U of H. Let
minute.
them run. That'll expand the enrollment in the school big time.
They
More
can
attractive.
easily turn whatever Joel Osteen turned the summit into back into the summit, and U of H could put 16,000 people in there easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
because Popeye's Pavilion is too small. It's too small.
How Finds only sits what? 8? If that?
Not bad. You'd be lucky if you get 10,000 in there.
That's like what is that joint? Lloyd Noble Center at Oklahoma. It barely seats 11. Barely.
Hey, don't mistake it. They had that sucker rocking and jumping up there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. AB Media in the place to be.
What's going on, fellas?
Always in the place to be. It's good to be chatting with a few of my guys.
Computer
Hey,
programmer.
Charles, I'm gonna put my
extraordinaire. We're gonna call him the computer scientist supreme.
You know what? AB, I just happened to catch AB doing a programming video, and I was glued.
Every time I watch AB, Phil, very things in my life I could never ever say was out of my comprehension. When he does that programming shit, I'm like, you the king, man. You win. You win this shit.
Yeah, I always run
hey, look, I'm not trying to scare you fellas. The horrible truth is I'm holding back a little bit.
Man, why are you holding back though? Why are you holding back?
No, bro. No, you don't understand. I'm holding back because it gets complicated.
Oh yeah, it gets
understood.
Let me put it to you this way.
It's not that I'm trying to hide stuff from brothers, but
right.
I'm trying to take it slow because it can. There are thousands of patterns to learn, and
it could
kind of have to know when
quick.
and when not to break the rules, depending on the situation you're in.
Yeah. Understand that.
You can get bogged down very easily.
Right. I thought I'd be a programmer, but after 1992, and I switched majors from computer science to what at the time was speech and theater and eventually broadcasting, I found my
Oh, really?
I found my niche. I found my. Hey Charles, I just put my PayPal in the back chat. Would you mind promoting that for me? Is that okay?
That's cool.
But yeah, AB, I caught caught one of your programming videos, and the video you dropped this morning was fire. Let me just say that
Oh
because you have
yeah,
to drop
I
it.
had to call out the
Of
Dusty
course, you had to.
senator.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
and you dropped that like AB dropped that before, like right after I got off the air. So I had something to listen to while I was wrapping up. The summit is now Lakewood Church. Good luck getting that from Joel
Hey,
Osteen.
Shonda, one of our lovely
Mm-hmm.
ladies in the sector.
Hey Shonda.
Hey,
Hey
Shonda.
I'm gonna
Shonda.
tell you what.
That's
It's
my
fun,
Virgo sister.
it's funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's say that senator from where was it, Rhode Island?
Rhode
Yeah.
Island.
Hold on. She's just a
What?
state senator. She likes to, she showed it fucking reiterate that shit. So I'm not a U.S. senator. I'm just a state. It don't matter. You be
Still,
facing you be
AB
facing
had
the man
still
called
in a
black people
an
if you
elected
A-
do that.
official.
AB had me rolling when he was doing that impression.
You stay clown. You
He
clown.
had me he had me on the floor cracking up. I mean, I
Hey.
was laughing so
If
hard.
you can go to go see that video, it's still
My
up
dog
on
Lucy.
TikTok. I'm not putting
Yeah,
that shit on my
wait,
video.
but my little dog Lucy hopped off the bed and came in and saw me on the floor, and she was all worried, jumping around me, going, "Are you okay? You okay?" And then
Oh my
she
goodness.
heard me laugh. Wait a minute. Then she heard me laughing, and I climbed back in my chair, and like she like hopped right in my lap,
Mm-hmm.
making sure I'm okay, and I'm just calming her down, going, "Lucy, Daddy's okay. I'm just laughing."
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm,
AB
I'm,
had me
Yeah, I had to say something, man,
dying.
because
AB
you got
had me dying.
and I had to point out that this is the price you pay. I meant what I said in that title. This
Oh
is the
yeah.
price you pay for voting
Oh yeah.
blue, no matter who.
Yep.
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 You hit a hard point right there. And like you said, if it would have been Republicans and this would have happened in their camp, oh, they would have been straight. They might not have been saying it out loud, but they would have been condoning her. She
Oh
would
yeah.
have been getting on the
Oh yeah, behind
ass
the scenes,
selling.
they'd be like,
She'd have
look
been
here, you
removed. Okay.
yep.
She'd have been removed from that seat, from that
Hey,
state senate.
she had that same shit, Marjorie Green, whatever her name is, for the way she talk crazy. Anytime you get to talking crazy and you on their Republican side, they know how to shut you up real quick. They know how to
Oh
get.
yeah.
They go see your ass.
I'm gonna say this. You know, oh, you on call? Oh yeah, I had a great time. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
you asked me was I using
and
OBS? Yes.
thank you for the kudos from the Orlando Jones video. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it.
Oh man, it was great.
That,
It was
that
great.
I had to give Mr. Jones his flowers from being, one of the
Mm-hmm.
innovators of, how you do dry humor and
Yes.
Yes.
that's just seamlessly into slapstick humor. A
Yep.
lot of people can't do that.
Yeah. Or
Mm-hmm.
And he,
that
for all
was
Halo
great.
fans, he was the sergeant who was barking the orders.
Mm-hmm.
He was Johnson.
Yep, he was the sergeant.
He was. He was.
Wow.
And
Hey
then
Shonda, how are
his
you
company,
doing, my dear?
his company,
Good to see you.
if you listen to it, he says his company's involved with it. So his
Yeah.
company brought a lot of stuff to it. And
Mm-hmm.
we even talked offline about the Annuncia incident because
Yeah.
if you notice, American Gods fell off when he left, when they got rid of him.
Really, I couldn't see that. Who could have saw that coming? Oh wait.
Especially when he was like showing people what a black god's supposed to be. Mm. Oh, he's motivating the Negroes. Got to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't uplift them.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing because it's like it's. I mean, they say don't meet your heroes, but I was so impressed by him. Such a gentleman, such a class act. Dancing with people like the whole time he dancing, you know, teasing the little kids, and it's funny, like he said in the interview. A lot of the guys who are 25 or 30 and under don't remember the Mad TV stuff. They remember him
I
from
do.
like his
I certainly do.
American Gods. We remember Drumline and
Mm-hmm.
It was
But,
like, wow.
but Charles, you too young to remember. Me and Snowman, we old enough, and maybe Chandra may remember. His daddy used to do the Clean Up commercials and the Mr. Clean commercials.
Mm-hmm.
He
Wow.
was the bald headed dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
It was like,
He was.
he's a talented guy. I'm sure it runs in the family. A lot of people, we knock a lot of our black greats and not give them their flowers while they're living. And, you know, it was an appreciation for blackness, and it showed that no incident happened during the event.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy that it showed that black people can get together, have fun.
Yes.
I mean, if you are a weed smoker, whoa, if you are a weed smoker, Blerdcon is your shit. I mean,
Okay, you done sold me. I gotta find a way there next year. Just let me know ahead of time when there's no be, because I drive. I do not fly. I ain't flying.
motherfuckers showed. Oh man, thank you for my flowers, T. He said, "Thank you for sharing that interview, Charles.
Mm-hmm.
You're a quality interviewer. I told you
Mm-hmm.
before. You got a future in media. Hey, call it out. Call it out."
Man, I've known that about Charles since I met him, since we had that conversation on the air for 3.5 hours about men's rights. Me, Charles, and Matt, two black guys and one white guy, diving in from minute one about men's rights. And I have that interview. What I'm going to do when I launch my solo show, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it because this was 2016 when we taped this interview.
Okay.
And we had planned. What's up, AL?
I said, put it out. I will watch it.
I am. Well, it's audio, but I'm gonna get those two together and we're gonna do it again. This time with video. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again. But I gotta find that original interview. And when I talked to Charles and to Matt before I even hit the record button, we all said it was going to be 30 minutes. We had planned on 30 minutes. And we started at 9:00 that night. And, because I had to get up in the morning because I had to go to Michigan City. I was living in LaPorte, Indiana at the time. I had to go to Michigan City to take care of some things. And I was going to hang out at Starbucks when I got done. Do you know we didn't get off there until 1 a.m.? And all three of us were spent. We were exhausted, but doggone, we came away with some knowledge. Lots of knowledge. It's strange that people say you can't find anything in if you're talking to a white guy, you can't find anything in common. My next two words are the following: bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit.
You'll find a lot of it common, especially with Matt.
Because with Matt, we all were talking about the rights that men don't get when it comes to some people very important called children.
Especially when you are being put behind the 8 ball, not because you're a black man, not because you're a white man, it's because you're a man, period. And it's so funny that's the reason why I get on a lot of white guys' case. I said, if y'all actually push this fucking, child custody and child support reform, do you know how many black guys would be on your side?
In a minute. In a hot minute, because how many times, and Charles, we've talked about this, and AB, I clued you in on it. How many times have we seen men get absolutely screwed in the courts?
Too many times.
Just because they're men, and just because we're being taught, not just told, but taught by society to just buck up, man up, Hell, in essence, society has been telling us for 400 plus years, fuck your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. If you're a man, it's a simple case of fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
It's a simple case. It's a simple case of fuck your feelings. You're a man. You can handle this. And I asked this question on my last live stream, and I'm going to get going on my live stream here in about 20 minutes. But I got to put this out there. What if you hit the wall as a man and you have nothing or no one to lean on?
Here, present, I already know it. I could do a soliloquy on that bullshit, but I digress.
You and me both, partner. You and me both. That's
A
why
lot of
that's why I'm mixing stuff like this with my show, and y'all have tuned into my show. I'm mixing stuff like this with my show. Is sports the main content of my show? Absolutely, because that's my niche, and that's I'm going to make $2 billion a year. And let me give Charles some flowers. Thank you for agreeing to be the first major sponsor / partner for the show. I really appreciate it. And I got some paperwork to get to you this week, and I will.
Woo.
But man, AB, AL, gentlemen, we all can do a soliloquy on when a man hits the wall and yet is still expected to pick himself up.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Like a football player. And AB, this one's for you, like Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning on the RCA Dome turf. And AL for you, like Warren Moon having to pick himself up off the Astrodome AstroTurf. How many times do we feel like we've been hit in the backfield? And you've been hit in the backfield so many times during a game that if you try to pick yourself up, you're afraid that you can't.
Yeah.
And Charles, if I'm allowed to, if y'all like what we're talking about, do me a favor and support the Snow Strong Carolina movement and hit the PayPal, because I gotta get the mission going.
Yeah.
The mission going.
You got to think about it, man. When it comes to men's rights, and I mean, you know, I've noticed a lot of women pissed about the Roe v. Wade being struck down. But at the same time, were y'all pissed when the guy has to pay for that baby you want out of your control? No. No, because there's only one way, rights. So when a guy says, okay, you get the right to abort any baby you want, we get to financially abort any baby we want. And I know some people like Bernard Riley will say some crazy shit. And I like Bernard, but sometimes Bernard does say some crazy shit. He says, well, you get custody. I said, here's the problem. How the fuck we going to fight and get custody when you already know you're behind the 8 ball? It's not as easy for men to get custody as a lot of brothers put it. That's why you have such bullshit going on in these courts today against men. So if it was that easy,
it's only dudes like that who never had children or don't know anyone who's had children that went through that, who can really let that shit roll out their tongue and not understand the magnitude and the magnification of how the judicial system works in favor, the child court system works in favor of the mother, the matriarch, no matter what.
And it's funny because a guy like him who's divorced with 2 sons, he should know. He should know
immediately.
So when I hear this shit, I just hear that, dude, you talking shit. You really talking shit. And it's not a good look, because one, when we put out good content for people to actually inform the masses, we're like, look, we're not saying black men don't take care of kids, because shit, we'll take care of our kids and other people's kids.
Yep.
Somebody get rid of that naked shit. I don't know why they fucking come to this.
What the fuck?
I don't know why the fuck these people always do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how whenever a man stands up for himself, there's always people to try to criticize and be like, "Well, you got to know that you know, you just got to take the kids, you got to take the abuse, you got to take this."
Mm-hmm.
I said, do you know how many men go to their graves early
Because of that.
because of that stress? Nobody talks about the stress that you put under and the years you take off your life going back to court, and you're expected to work just as much, if not more.
If not more.
And all because of what? All because of you're not even given any type of respect. You're not given any type of fucking acknowledgement for your works.
What was that dude last year? I can't think of his name. Was he a nurse or something that just went ape shit because you know he was on video and he went to his ex-wife. He said, "Today's the day."
Yeah, that was in Baltimore, as a matter of fact.
Oh wow!
And he how many people did he kill?
He killed his girlfriend, his current wife, and his baby mama.
Wow!
And he killed himself, I believe, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Who we talking about? I missed that.
A guy last year who was a nurse killed his wife because she said she was going to do him the same way as the baby mama.
You had one that just caught life in Missouri. He killed his baby mama because she just got pregnant and she was looking up online what to do when your husband doesn't like the fact that she's pregnant. And he
yeah, that's it. I never shared this story even on the chat that I had with Charles and with Matt, but I will share it here. While I was taking care of my daughter Donna, and I was with Donna's mother Liz, and we had planned to get married, one afternoon there was a knock on the door. Lo and behold, it was from DCS. Her family found out not only about the baby, but about me. And Liz was not black, and I'll let y'all put 2 and 2 together with that.
Oh boy.
Only one of her uncles had the balls to pull me aside and ask me the key question that a father would ask. What are your intentions? And I told him straight out, I plan to take care of Liz. I plan to take care of this baby. If I got to move my base of operations from Chicago to Indianapolis, so be it. I have a driver's license. I can earn some money. I can get some wheels and help things out, which is what we were steering towards anyway, because I was covering games at Roosevelt University in Chicago. It would have been so easy for me to find a high school, and I was looking at some high schools to cover in Indy. But no, he got overruled by the women in that family, and DCS paid us a visit. And I actually said, unless you tell me who made the call, you're not coming in here. Then I got threatened with jail. And Liz yanked me aside really, really quick and hugged me and said, you have to let them in. So I took a deep breath. I let them in. They sat and they watched me with Donna, feeding Donna. I was feeding Donna. And Donna was just looking up at me, smiling. Have a good night, Shonda.
Have a good night, Shonda.
I mean, they were just looking up at me, she was just looking up at me, smiling. Liz was smiling. And I knew Donna was going to be a basketball baby because, A, she was born in March 2013. And what's the big event? March Madness.
March Madness.
March is basketball month all across the country. But that aside, I knew what kind of child I was gonna have. I knew what kind of child me and Liz were gonna raise. And yes, I said me and Liz were going to raise that child despite whatever the hell people were saying. And right after my child was born, I had to miss 2 softball games in Chicago because Donna was born. Like, I'm not leaving my wife and my child. No. I sent my bosses at Roosevelt a picture of Donna, and I said I got a pretty good reason why I'm missing the opening doubleheader. And here she is. And all they said was, take care of your family. Welcome to fatherhood. Let us know when you're ready to come back. But at the end of the month, I was forced to move back to Chicago because her family took her and the baby away from me. And throughout that month, my rights were stripped. And the courts wasn't even close to being involved. It was all right, this ain't no parental. There's a parental advisory, so I'll go ahead and say it. By a bunch of bitches that didn't get to know me.
Oh yeah.
And what my intentions were. They didn't even know Liz. Okay? And I could tell that. So I was forced to go back home to Chicago to my mom's house without my fiance at the time and my daughter. And this was 2013. And my mother bugged the daylights out of me every day. Get a DNA test. Get a DNA test. This is not your child. How the fuck do you know? How the fuck can you tell? And anybody that has seen me on Facebook, I post pictures of my family often. Jody, my daughter Sonia, my daughter Cheyenne. Hell, Cheyenne was with me in the hospital when I had my cancer surgery. But if there's one picture I post a lot, it's Donna. And she would have been 9 this year because she died in 2015.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Condolences.
Man, just think of Donna's smile. That's what I do every day. I think of my daughter's smile, my father's smile, and my wife's smile. And that help get me through every day.
Because I needed a minute.
So I never shared that story until now.
Damn.
Wow.
And y'all want to know why I work, and people want to, I know y'all know, but people want to know why I work so hard. People want to know why I'm working so hard to get my family back to North Carolina. You just got part of your answer. And after being told today, as part of the conversation, I'm going to talk about this because I'm going on in an hour. And I would appreciate if y'all would come by and people would donate to the cause. After being told I didn't pay enough taxes to get disability because I was business owner, and believe me, why my wife looked me in the eye and broke it all down for me. And I only had one emotional moment for about 5 minutes, thinking every time my mother said to me, "You need to get a quote unquote real job."
I never understood why people are so quick to shoot down people's dreams.
Hey, what part of North Carolina are you trying to get back to, yo? What part of North Carolina you from?
Greensboro.
Oh, word. I went to A&T, man. I went to A&T. Yo, shout out, bro.
Aggie pride.
You know what I'm saying? Now,
and I want to get back. I want to get back to the triad because there's an opportunity waiting for me. There's a salary waiting for me.
Gate City.
There's a salary waiting for me at UNCG. We're just in a holding pattern, waiting to get people in place. And as soon as Colby gives me the call, it's time to ride. Because there are 4 sports. Even if I got to do it remotely from here in Indiana for the next year, because my wife wants to make sure I'm completely clear, but I want to make sure that we're completely prepared when the call happens. Like I said, if I got to get equipment and do it here for the next year, so be it. But the mission ain't going to stop. I got an opportunity with Mount Tabor High School, and I'm going to write to them to see if they can help me do it remotely. Same with UNCG, home and road. I want to be busy. I want to take the financial burden and pressure off my wife, because in the past year, she's helped get me through blood clots in my lungs. She's helped me get through COVID, and she's helped me get through this. And after she broke it down for me today, I felt like Popeye the Sailor. That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more. I've got to do something for my family. They've all been here for me, encouraging me. Hell, sometimes scolding me when I get so down and depressed. And my wife made me realize I've been depressed for 3 months. It's long enough. That's why I'm
man.
Talk to me.
Hey, bro, you from the Midwest?
Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, man, look at here, bro. You know, I'm from Detroit. You know, I ain't about 4 hours off of 94 West from you. So, you know, I'm going to say this, man. You a Midwestern, and you know how we get down. We know how to grind, man, and you know how to grind, bro.
Yes,
you
sir.
know how to grind. You
Yes,
know
sir.
how to grind.
The grind don't. I may be down in the dumps and depressed like I was for 3 months after kicking cancer in the ass, but the grind never stopped. I was doing shows, and Charles can verify, and a couple of others can verify. I was doing shows in the hospital at the end of May. I was doing shows in my partner, Cole Johnson, who's absolutely terrific, and y'all need to follow him, Cole Sports Online, and that's Cole Sports with a Z. Y'all need to follow him. I asked him before I went into the hospital, take the chair for me. I don't know how long it's going to take, but take the chair for me. He is now my executive producer, and I couldn't be happier with a man who has stepped up for me. And now I got to step up for him. I got to step up for my crew. And you know the next sentence, Electrician 480, I got to step up for my family.
Yes, sir.
You know what I tell people when they talk about YouTube ain't no real job? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Anything you do that you have to report to the government to, I would be careful. I tell people, I would be careful who I say that to, because if you make, you do know if you get big enough on YouTube, they will send you a W-2, and you will have to report your money to the government.
That's fine.
Don't say that to the wrong person.
Yeah, they will.
That's fine. That's fine by me, because I plan
fine by me too. I'll pay my share.
I plan to have at least 25. I plan to have at least 2,500 subs before football season.
I'm gonna put it to you this way: anytime you put anything of your intellectual property, whether if I agree with it or not, whether if I call it dumb shit or not, that's still your intellectual property. You have to put some effort, some work. Mass, times acceleration, work, some velocity. Yeah. So when you try to shit on people and say, well, that's like saying singing isn't a real job, playing professional sports isn't a real job, acting isn't a real job. People say that to cosplayers. Do you know what some of these cosplayers get paid to show up to fucking cons?
I believe
like cosplay. Do you know how much people literally donated to me just for the speaker and just for the goddamn the music I was playing? And I was like, they were offering like, yo, next year we gotta get you set up with a DJ booth up here. I'm like, hey, as long as y'all pay me. But at the same time, like you said, AD, when you get big enough, you're gonna get a W-2. You think shit. Like, YouTube changed a lot of motherfucking lives. You think guys like Valdez is it making good money off of YouTube? You think guys like O'Shea is it making good money off of YouTube? Hell,
man, O'Shea getting paid, bro.
O'Shea is getting bank.
Yeah,
and that is my wish and hope for every one of these brothers on this panel tonight.
And I can tell you, cutting video is not easy.
No, it's not.
Anybody think that ain't no job? Oh boy.
I mean, you got to think.
Editing is a motherfucker.
And a lot of these guys up here are content creators, so they'll tell you, you know how fucking hard it is to think of a subject to speak about.
Mm-hmm.
You know how
down.
write it down.
I'm about to change my content to making like this healthcare and talking about the crimes of. I'm about to start talking about the crimes in healthcare. I think that's how I can be a better suit to what I'm trying to do. Like talk about talk about all the criminal aspect and criminal things that happen in healthcare. Because talking about these black women. They're gonna end up coming up in the criminal aspect of healthcare because they work in healthcare too. So they gonna come up. I've done plenty of stories about them, about how there was a black woman working at the VA nursing home.
Yeah.
She down and killed. I think it was the senator's family member. And I gotta go over this stuff. See, this is I gotta start making that content, going over it.
I'm going to share when I go live at 12:45. I'm going to share a story that happened to me concerning Duke University Cancer Center, and all I will say is you won't believe it.
Yeah.
And I will also add the only person on this panel I've shared this story with is Charles.
Yeah. And I mean,
I've only shared this story with Charles, but if y'all come over to my channel at 12:45, and I'm hoping you do, and I hope people in the chat will come over as well and bring some donations with them because got a mission to complete. I will share the story of institutionalized racism with Duke University Cancer Center. And you know the craziest part about it? You know who broke it down for me? Jody. Jody broke this down for me.
It's crazy because how many times in the healthcare black men died of fucking terrible shit? Think about it.
When you say Tuskegee Institute, the Tuskegee experiment started with that shit.
Eunice.
Hold on, fellas. I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this for the idiots who are so anti-reparations, right? When did y'all purposely give diseases to any race of people in the country? When did y'all even the most downtrodden Asian gotten better treatment? Hell, you imprisoned them for like what, a year or two, if that, and you gave them $25,000 each, and you wonder what, and especially back in World War II, 1945, 1950. You know how much $25,000 was worth
back then? Ooh.
Man, oh
Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up for your ass.
Please do.
You know what you could do with that now? $25,000 each.
Man, please. That
you know what
would
I could do with that kind of money? That would be
that would be such a boon for all of us right now.
Do you know how much?
Men.
Do you know how much $25,000 was worth in 1950? It was the equivalent of $303 and $211.63. So you had 300.
Wait a minute,
300,000.
Yep.
Over $300,000, Charles.
Over $300,000.
Wow.
Over $300,000.
So they became six figures overnight when they got that back then.
Think about it. Your kid, even though they were little, and they were treated as an Asian, we're gonna do it in 1945. See how much it was worth. Oh God.
Uh-oh.
If they would have gave it to him at 45, it would have been $405,000.
Wow.
$966.67.
The oppressor isn't trying to give the oppressee jack shit. Always remember that, gentlemen.
Exactly. So when we talk about,
one of the reasons I think they won't do it is because we would probably bankrupt the entire world if they paid us what they needed.
You know the reason why. and they don't want to really. They're trying really to erase slavery and erase Jim Crow from the history books.
Yep.
It's gonna make
Yep.
little kids feel bad. No
They're
offense.
They're trying to revise the history books.
And
And
this is the reason
I
why.
call bullshit on that, AB. Think about this, AB. Look how much fucking money they're pumping into fucking Ukraine right now and giving these Ukrainians. You rather take care of these SOBs than take care of the motherfuckers you've been treating like dirt and crap shit. Now, I ain't even just talking about us. But see, the Indians they getting theirs. They've been getting theirs. And they've been doing everything they can to keep the side of me, because I got Indian in me times 3. Yeah, to try to go through that shit and get that, that's hell. I've been trying. So I got to get it on both ends. But look, you can get these Lithuanians and these Ukrainians any goddamn thing they want. You took care of the Japanese. You take care of the man. Don't get me. I digress.
Let me tell you why. It's one of those things where you go out and you look at the circumstances. You look at the battlefield. They're gonna take care of white people because that's the closest thing to prop up their fucking their numbers. Here it is, right? They'll allow a movie of the homie, the Kingdom of the Homie, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, slave traders ever.
Yes, sir.
And they promote this shit like it's some empowering shit. I was like, really? If you really want to
talk about you talk about that Woman King movie they trying to drop? What they about to drop?
Yeah, that woman, bitch king, whatever the fuck you call it. But
you know what? You know what I'm thinking, Dr. Charles, though?
I think that's strategic because Africans, I'll be real quick. I think Africans and African Americans have probably been working together and getting along probably too well. And we have been bringing that conversation up amongst each other, and we haven't really fought on it. But when you put it in a movie and you put it on Front Street, it is something for us to argue about.
Well, you got to look at it. Here's the gratuitousness of it. Here's a good. Oh, I'm laughing at a post, but it's like this, man. You got black men who are still the boogeyman in this country, but yeah, white boys are shooting up every goddamn time, every time they can't get a job. Mm-hmm. Welcome to black men. Fuck you. Oh, kill. Then you notice your numbers are dwindling. You can't get the dates your grandfather and father could get.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you take away all the miscegenation laws, all the Jim Crow, all the racism, and you make it a little bit more even, you start to find out that you're inadequate. You don't add up.
Yeah.
And then you also see this refuge of simpleton shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're not producing a smarter man. You look at, I could already tell you before I go to the theaters and see the Thor movie, how the fuck, what? Like I said on Dr. T's live stream earlier, how the fuck is the God of Thunder, the Prince of Asgard, going to give up his throne to a person who ran away from her duty?
Mm.
That's like giving Benedict Arnold the presidency.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You see pictures of fucking a little girl with fucking Stormbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
A more powerful weapon than his hammer. And I'm like, y'all really trying to kill. Y'all really trying to kill this fucking thing, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. They are.
Y'all really trying to kill this here.
Why not kill our heroes? Because, like, I remember kids don't look at the firefighters. They don't look at the doctors. They don't look at the nurses. They don't look at the teachers. like all the role models. We had so many role models, and they just not only did they tear down the statues, they tore down the role models too.
I mean, think about it. The black community alone. This is the reason why I say, and people get mad at me. Women make fathers, men make wives. You, it's so hard, and I get it. I give women leeway if they married the motherfucker and it didn't work out. Okay, I'll give you some credit there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you willy nilly give your fucking pussy to a motherfucker who got extra kids, and you don't even take, this is the reason why God made women illogical. Because wait a minute, men would say, wait a minute, this baby can almost kill me. Nah, gee, I ain't getting pregnant for shit. He had to make some things in your brain to make you, oh, I want to have this man's baby. Because it's not, if logically, that's the closest you can go to death, if not death itself. And you think about this, right? You got so many women out there picking men who have multiple children before them, and you're looking like, what the fuck? Does this guy take care of the rest of the children?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just, it's just mind fucking.
It is.
It's mind fucking because if a man was like, look, I need somebody to take care of this child with me, he's gonna try to pick the best woman he can, whether she's in a White House or the trash house. But at least he's trying. You cannot tell me. And notice, we don't make excuses of why we got her pregnant. The pussy was good. Shit. I knew I was stupid. But to tell me that a whole fucking generation was left out the cold, all these men walked. They didn't want to take care of the kids. No, bitch, they didn't want to be near you.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you within
And they get
5 minutes,
confused so many times.
5 minutes of talking to the average female. Now there's some who are cool, sure. But the average fucking female, most men do not want to deal with your fuck shit. Most men do
Period.
not. But yet,
Hey,
you think
let me
that,
let me let me explain to you how they love to self sabotage themselves unbeknown. When the minute she gets pregnant, she comes to you and says, I'm pregnant instead of we're pregnant. That should let you know off the rip as a man. If she does not say we're pregnant, she says I'm pregnant, that means she is not even trying to deal with you as far as her being a part of you and her and that child's life. But this is how they've been trained. This is all they know. They don't know any better. Any other race, when that woman gets pregnant, she says, we're pregnant, meaning we're going to have to work on building this family. But no, the first thing she says, the single black woman, when she gets pregnant is, and before she gets pregnant, oh, y'all, boyfriend, girlfriend, love each other, everything's good, everything's kosher. But the minute she gets pregnant, those feminist tendencies that been built up in her through media, through home, through family, through society, through school, is kicking in. And the first thing she does, and 9 times out of 10, most of these single black girls do this when they get, I'm pregnant. You never, ever do you hardly hear as a black man, any black man on this panel who's heard these words before. You've heard, I'm pregnant, not we're pregnant. Think about it. But I
yeah,
digress.
That's deep,
What
Ariel.
happened to
You're
me
right,
in
brother.
Indy, what happened to me in Indy when Liz found out she was pregnant, and we found out that day that Donna was delivered because Liz didn't know. She had horrible stomach pains and couldn't figure out why. But when all the tests were done, and I went back into the hospital room, she looked me dead in the eye and said, we're having a baby today. Did it shock the daylights out of me? Yeah, but it made me smile too.
Because
10 years ago in March.
Included in this, man. And then, like you said before, think about the scenario between you and your gal. You know, you're not with the typical gal. You didn't have to deal with the majority of us have to deal with. So, in a sense, you got lucky because she, from where she comes from, they're trained to say we. They work as an inclusive unit. We've been so put out of whack for so long in our culture's way of thinking over here on this continent that as soon as she gets knocked up, the first thing she comes at us with is I'm pregnant.
Yes.
Not we're pregnant, I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Liz looked me in the eye and said, we're having a baby today. When she told me that, March 6, 2013, a date I will never forget because that's the date I saw my little girl born at Peyton Manning Hospital in Indy. And it's also the toughest day to remember because she's not here. It's the toughest day. One of the two toughest days, March 6th and June 25th. Two of the toughest days because March 6th, my daughter was born. She died March 9th, 2015. The reason I chose June 25th as my wedding day 3 years ago, married, I was wishing, and I knew I was just wishing that he was there in person to see it. Because I made him a promise that if I ever got married again, he'd be there. And in many ways he was. But I chose the 25th of June to honor my dad. He died on the 12th of June, 2007.
Yeah, I've been dealing with that one for over 20 years now. My dad died back in 2000.
Lost my granddad and my dad 6 months apart, 2000.
Yeah.
Lost my dad in 2009, June 15th, the same day that Michael Jackson died.
Hey.
Oh, man. I still remember what I was doing on that day.
Me and Michael Jackson share a birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, I had taken my little cousin to go see the second Transformers movie. True story. I come back home, flip on the TV. Michael Jackson dead at 50. I was like, what the? Yeah. I still remember that day like it was yesterday.
Matter of fact, I remember watching the BET Awards about this shit.
Yeah.
Around that damn time.
That was a sad day, man.
And it was like, hey, I could tell you what I was doing when Prince died. They announced it over the radio, the police radio. When Prince died.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't care what nobody says. I say the music industry took both of them out because if you look back at their catalogs and what they owned and who they owned, those record execs wanted all that back, and they put insurance on them on both of those men too to make money off of them. Don't think they didn't.
They did. Oh, they did. They did. You know what's so funny is that so this weekend on Saturday I buried my aunt. She was 83 years old, right? She had she married my uncle who was him and my uncle and my dad were brothers. And it's so funny that we talking about dads that at our funeral they was talking about more stories about my uncle than they was talking about my aunt. But my hope, the point, the reason I brought that up is that fathers have a tremendous impact on our lives. Fathers and grandfathers really have an impact on our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that we have the state who is against fatherhood, right? We know that the state is against fatherhood. And the thing about it is that those on the panel and those in the live chat, if you have a father, he got wisdom for you. He knows about experience. He's been out here, and all I would say is on that note, and I think everybody who's lost their father and grandfathers will tell you that, hey, soak up that knowledge from them because they've been out here. They know what was going on. They know what's going on out here, man. And the thing is, if you don't have a good relationship with your fathers, start having one today. It ain't too late because I promise you, you won't regret it. I love with the fact that Charles, and I'm gonna say this real quick, AB, and I'm gonna let you go, let you do your thing. I love the fact that Charles talks about his dad quite often. They talk about the farmland that they still have in North Carolina. Man, here in Michigan, well, my grandfather was a sharecropper from Mississippi. He bought a 100-acre farm in a small village township of Carlton, Michigan. You can look it up off of Oakville Waltz Road and Timbers Road, right? My grandfather took that land and worked it for his on the benefit of his family. And it was my uncle and my father who continued that legacy. Because if it wasn't for them two, my aunts and my uncle, they would have starved to death. You know what I'm saying? So it means something to have men in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I support everybody I subscribe to, because it means something to have men. Even I don't care if they're younger, older, whatever. It means something. And I'm gonna fall back.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Shout out to your dad, Philip, because trust me, we already know he raised one hell of a man right there with you. And it's it's one of those compulsory, one of those necessary things that people need to realize. Fathers need to be respected, revered, loved, cherished, protected. Do you know, as a father myself, there are so many times you think of yourself as a goddamn failure? People never talk about that. How fathers feel like they failed their children. But the children are like, just because you weren't able to get us this one, we'd rather have you than the gift.
Mm, that's facts.
Just because you don't have this money, what's money? Something we're going to spend anyway? We'd rather spend time than money. Think about it. The years go away. The years go away. Every time my son goes to Blerdcon with him and his friends, and I'm there and they with me, and these are memories, even though they might think I might be getting on their nerves talking about, they want to go back inside. These are years they're going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I live to be 1,000 years old, even Odin had to pass. I want you to think about that. It's not just how long you live, but how you live.
Yeah.
And to think how many. This is the reason why, to every mother listening to the sound of my voice, don't rob your children from the lessons that a man can give them, especially their father. Don't ever do that. You will put such a curse on your children's heart and soul by reneging their father. And if
Mm-hmm.
you think the father is not good enough, you're going to have to take a hard look at yourself.
Yep.
If you're laying down with less than, what does that make you?
Yep.
And I say that with a heavy heart, because when we look at things, we don't look at things in the terms of what's going to happen 5 years down the line, 20 years down the line, 50 years. Look at the here and now. My palm's itching, so that means hopefully I'm getting some money. But we need to really take and recognize what it means to be fatherly.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
That's cool.
You're good.
Lost my kid. But yeah, that day, Father's Day 2007, for a while sucked ass.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like a lot of times, like we were talking about, is that we need to realize how precious fathers are,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the like I said about the stress. Nobody ever calls to say, "Hey, are you okay?"
Mm.
It takes other men, just like this man. See, people can say what they want about the black manosphere. They can say we hate women, and we obviously don't. If we're the motherfuckers saying we want good relationships and families,
Mm-hmm.
how the fuck you hate women if you want families? You can't. It's an oxymoronic statement.
Yep.
It's total bullshit.
It
Yeah.
is.
And,
It
and,
is.
and what makes it even heavier is that I've had guys call me on my personal cell, email me on Facebook Messenger, even on the show, who were going through some hard times. Hell, there have been times I had to be calmed down on my own damn show going through hard times when I just needed to vent some shit out.
Yes.
We keep each other sane.
Mm-hmm.
We keep each other out of prison. We keep each other out the grave. Okay? I'm going to say it
Mm-hmm.
again. We keep each other out of trouble, out of the grave, and out of prison.
Prison.
And nobody ever says this like, hey, there's black men over here who's helping other black men cope with some of the worst shit in their life.
Yep.
And the
How
black
many times I tell you, Charles, you saved my life?
Same.
and
Same with you guys every morning when I'm on the air, and y'all come in and check in, even if it's only for a couple of minutes.
Mhm.
That keeps me going. Having
Yeah.
Cole there keeps me going. Having my wife tell me before she goes to work, "You kick ass on your show today," and she tells me, "You better chase your dream or I'll kick your ass." And I know she
Hey,
listen. She tells me that on a daily
I
basis.
find a wife like that. Damn.
Listen, she tells me
Hey.
on a daily. She tells me that on a daily basis, and she kids around when she says that, but there's a
Of
lot
course,
of
of
meaning.
course.
There's a lot of
Right.
meaning of that with me.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of meaning with that, because if you don't have that woman in your corner that looks at you and thinks the world of you and tells you on a daily basis, keep chasing your dreams. I know you're gonna help us out. I know you're gonna get there, but you keep chasing them. You
I've
don't even think about giving up.
I'm
And
off. That was to that. I'm so
when I
jealous.
got down when I got down to 208 pounds, my wife said, "It just seems to me like you're giving up because your body's not responding." We've had so many heart-to-heart talks since then, since my surgery on April 4th.
Mm.
And after tonight, explaining to me the whole and the whole if you had a quote unquote real job thing and paid enough taxes into it. And since I've been in business, I've hardly gained any money. I know that. That changes this year. And that's why I've restarted the mission. Cuz after she broke it down for me tonight, that kind of set me on fire. And now I'm ready to get this done. I'm ready for the donations to come in and we reach our original goal is $30,000 because I was combine that with the salary I'm going to make from UNCG and the high school I'm going to call games for. But I've doubled the goal to 60,000 now.
Hey, bro, my only advice to you, bro, with this YouTube stuff, man, take it slow because these people are very ruthless. Because, like, even though you find a brotherhood, you find brothers, you gonna find yourself. YouTube brings a different level up out of you at times. Every single brother up here. I know AL, I know Charles, at least I know them too. I know Mel too has been in dog out fights because what you believe you're gonna have to stand on, and you're gonna get cut out, you're gonna get cussed out, you're gonna get called names, you're gonna get labeled. Man, it's a slow. You gotta be ready,
They
bro.
can label me after what I've been through in the past year. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words and phrases ain't hurting me anymore. After nearly dying on June 5th of 2021 because of blood clots in my lungs, and then a month later getting diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I still got to share I want y'all to come over to my channel because I'm doing a impromptu fundraising live stream. I will not share the Duke University story here. Charles knows about it, but I'm going to share it there on my channel. What I was told in November, what the doctors were telling my wife, and in some cases, not me. I'm going to share the whole story because once you get to a point where you say, fuck it, I'm going to go for it, no one can stop you unless you let them. You know, for my buddy Charles, their dog's in the house. Roof, 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 roof. Damn it.
Yeah. You got to come out there like this. You got to come out there like this, man.
See this right here?
15 and a quarter needles every 3 days.
Damn.
Oh, shit. Let me put AB back
30
up.
minutes, otherwise I bleed out.
Say that again because you got cut off, AB.
I have to hold those wounds too. Once they take those needles out, we have to hold them, otherwise you bleed out.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And that's dialysis, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the other option, believe it or not, is it's in the chest area.
So yeah,
the catheter.
You could get a.
Let me
You
finish.
could get a super vena cava.
That's where I went in.
Yeah, but that's only temporary though, bro. That won't last. They have to put a dialysis catheter like they did, and as long as you have a positive.
But let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I've had this in my chest. Get the catheter. The catheter is the first thing they give you first. It hurts like hell when they do it. They won't even put you to sleep to put the catheter in. They just numb you up and put that shit in. Get that if you ever go on dialysis, get that catheter out of the chest as soon as possible because it can easily get infected. I know because mine's got infected. I was in the hospital for over a week, and I may have died if they didn't find out. They didn't find out I had a bug in my catheter because it's linked directly to your heart.
Directly to the super vena cava. Directly. He's telling the honest to God truth, and I'm right, bro. And they were supposed to keep caps on the end of it with a solution to keep them clean for you. They were supposed to change the dressing of it with antiseptic cleansing, and none of that had. And didn't none of that happen for you, did it? Did any of that happen for you?
Yeah, it happened, but still got infected.
It's just the remnants thereof.
Yeah, and here's how I found out. I started getting a bunch of fevers out of treatments, and I haven't had a fever since I was in high school.
Right.
I was getting high fevers out of treatment. Then one day, I after 2 or 3 treatments, I went home to take one of my pills and just threw it up like I had eaten something poisonous. After that, I was like, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
I went to the hospital and I was in there for over a week. I was mad as hell.
I was mad as hell.
I'll share this story. Then I'm gonna hop on my channel and get my live stream going. When we were living with our in-laws, I didn't know what was going on with me. My sugar was going up and down. My blood pressure was going up and down. And one night I had to use the bathroom. It was getting ready to come out of both ends, and I was so wobbly that I stumbled toward the bathroom, fell, put a dent in the wall.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, and it took me about 10 minutes to get up. That's how wobbly I was. I'm a lot better now, thank the Lord. And it took
Was
one
that
extra
low blood
visit.
sugar? That's what it sounds like.
Yes. It took one extra visit to the hospital. And I'm on a steroid right now that I have to take twice a day, but damn it, I'm here. We're all here. We're alive and we're kicking.
Hey, be careful with that steroid because that steroid can push your blood sugar up. So are they
It's
checking your
spiked.
blood sugar?
I have two forms of insulin that I take, one that's fast acting and one that's slow acting. The slow acting one I take at night, especially after I take my insulin at 5.
I got a high.
my
I'm on a hybrid
steroid.
version.
So
Yep.
you take regular and then you take what, Lantus or Levemir?
Levemir.
Levemir. Okay. So do you get a snack in the middle of the night?
Sometimes.
How many units you take?
For the slow acting one.
Don't answer that. That should not ask. I should not ask you that. I'm sorry.
That's
sorry.
all right. That's all right. I love sharing things. Listen, I love sharing things about my health and my health journey, and I love sharing it with the brothers on this panel. To answer your question, I take between 12 and 14 units. And that change came about because the doctor that I saw in Columbus said, fuck the metformin.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. I've been on that shit. Don't do it.
Listen,
I tried metformin and
I have one person to thank who spurred this along, and that's my wife, because she posed to the doctor a very important question. How do we know metformin works with black men?
Ooh.
She posed that question to my doctor.
I ain't gonna lie to you, so man, I might have to use that because
think of how true it is. Have we ever seen a study with black men on metformin?
No, we haven't. So my question is, what was your initial dose of metformin they want to give you?
500 milligrams twice a day.
Okay, so that's the basic initial dose, but we know that's not the plan for metformin.
No,
we all know that's not the plan.
No, it's not. And it took my brother-in-law Johnny to knock that piece of sense into my head. And then the question my wife posed, my wife has told me all the time, you've given me such a wonderful perspective on things. And people want to look at Jody and I and say, oh, they're a mixed couple. They don't know anything. Bullshit. My wife taught at Indian.
Whoever said that, whoever thinks that is a stupid motherfucker off break.
Thank you.
That doesn't have shit to do with stuff.
I mean,
they put me on metformin, and I had to stop taking it because the shit makes you run to the bathroom.
Yes, it does.
I dropped weight. I mean, I'm not complaining about the weight that I dropped because my abs came back. But the only time I'll take it again is when I want to cut weight again. And here's the crazy part. It's so loose that people don't understand. Metformin can make you fucking dehydrated.
Yes.
And that'll weak the fuck out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can drop your blood. It can drop your blood sugar as well.
And I mean, you gotta think when I cut a lot of shit out, my blood sugar went from 5 something, and I got it down in like 2 weeks to like 79.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm at an average of 140 from my blood sugar, and I tested a few times a day. It was on the advice of Dr. Nakib in Indy that said test it before you eat, and then you know how much fast-acting insulin to take, because I also have to take a digestive enzyme with not having a spleen and part of my pancreas and part of my stomach.
Yeah.
So there are a few extra things that I have to take, and I don't mind at all.
And one thing about when you go diabetic, you're fucking for the first couple of weeks, your body's thermostat is off the fucking meter.
Yes, it is.
But the thing about it is, one of the craziest things about it is, so black men have also been known to have a higher resting blood pressure. Um, when you say your blood sugar is 140, you know that's technically not, if it's maintainable at 140. What's your A1C?
That I don't know. I just know my blood sugar numbers and their average, because the meter that I have where I test my blood sugar keeps all the numbers for me.
So eventually they're going to do some blood work on you and do an A1C. If your A1C is 7 or below, that means you're well contained. So I don't know if you're looking at a rest and blood
last one
sugar.
was 6.4.
6.4. Hold on. Who said that?
That was AB.
Well, if AB said his A1C was 6.4, his blood sugar or diabetes or whatever, say free glucose in the system with the lack of what they call insulin, is very well controlled. You have a very well controlled blood sugar, or you have very well controlled diabetes.
And how do you think? Go ahead, AB. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't always there. It's my A1C's been as high as 15.
Mine also.
And when I saw that number, I was like, because they had been warning me before, but when I saw that 15 number, I was like, nah, something got to change. And you want to know one of the things I actually did that lowered my A1C? I stopped eating alternative sugar.
Yeah.
Really?
The alternative sugar blows, because I used to put
that alternative sugar is bullshit.
It is, because I used to put it in my coffee when I was in the hospital, and they kept telling me, "Oh, this is good for you. This is good for you." But then the last
Are you talking about like aspartame, sweet and low, shit like that?
That stuff is not good for you. Don't mess with that stuff.
It is not. But man, I'm so happy for you, AB. I'm happy for the guys on this panel. Electrician, it's finally good to put a face to the name. Salute to you, my friend.
No doubt, baby. Oh, no doubt.
And when Electrician pops in my chat during the morning show, or any of the guys here pop in my chat during the morning show, I get excited, because I know I'm having an influence on you guys, and y'all want to see some good morning sports talk and not the bullshit that's out there right now. Now, I will say, am I a fan of Colin Cowherd? I was once upon a time, but now I've taken him and Mike and Mike in the morning and all the other morning shows, local and national, that I used to listen to, or other sports shows that I listened to, including Dan Dockage out of Indianapolis, who is finally on camera, and Lord knows why. I've taken all that and I've meshed it into 3 hours of the best sports talk you'll ever hear.
Well, check this, yo. I'm about to redirect my channel, cam up, and give some of the best health talk you ever going to hear. Real talk. Hope you and Brian and AB pull up. Hey, AB, when you go to your, are you a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Wednesday, Friday.
I've done Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Oh man, I'll never go back to that. I would have to take a nap before the Coliseum and shit. Charles knows what I'm talking about.
Does your facility treat you well? Give you a dry weight, your wet weight, and your dry weight before? Do they make sure that you receive a snack before you leave? Do they give you your fluid balance and what you need to drink for that day? Are they very, very well taking care of your? Because at this point, man, I'm on some shit where we trying to whistle blow. I'm not necessarily whistleblowing, but for black men, we're gonna go ahead and call all this stuff out. So when there's we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start talking. That's why I'm redirecting my channel towards health disparities that I see going on. And I might not get a lot of views. It's fine. But that's what I really want to do.
If you need someone on your panel that can share some stories, I'm right here. I'm right. I'm right here. We're
My
all right
only
here.
my only fear has been that once I do this, no one's gonna like I've done the beef stuff, the talking stuff. I've done the
Man,
but
man,
that's
be in
that's not, that's
your
not my
lane.
heart at on the
Go
internet.
with
You know
go
what I
with
mean?
where your go with where your heart is. Go with
But
where
the
you,
thing,
go with where your heart is, man,
I,
because
yeah,
this is something men have not been told often, but I'm telling the men on this panel tonight, go with your heart, man. I mean, I I barely reference movies, but I will. Um, I remember a scene in Sister Act 2 where um, a student wrote a letter to her mother who was very restrictive, and she said, "I'm sorry, but I have to follow my heart." I'm
Yep.
telling the men on this panel right now, don't be sorry about following your heart. Follow it. That's why I gave AB Media the invite as soon as I get clearance to cover the Circle City Classic at Lucas Oil Stadium. I want you in the booth. I want you there. It's time because y'all have been there for me. Every one of the guys on this panel has been there for me. And I appreciate you guys so much. What's wrong with telling, I'll do this on my channel, but what's wrong with telling guys that you appreciate them and that you love them? Because I love every one of y'all dearly just for being there, just for popping in for a few minutes. And I think it's A.L. Evans that gives me the woo every time he pops in with me and Cole in the morning. But
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Shout out to
Work out with Wayne. Yeah.
Workout with Wayne, because yeah, we're gonna get to that fitness expo that's gonna be needed for black men.
Yes.
I already told the snowman, get your exercise bands, build up that muscle. See, a lot of times I'm gonna tell you, a lot of black guys who are dealing with pains and aches, get you some exercise resistance bands.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get some more.
Just do some exercises. I mean, keep building up the strength. Do
Yeah.
them to high reps. Shit, you ain't got shit to do anyway.
Right.
Instead of, I mean, just
Instead of
keep
being
doing it. Just
instead of
your
being
squats.
instead of being depressed, I'm gonna start to impress and
Yeah.
and start doing my exercises.
Walk
We're getting
around.
our band. I'm getting our bands this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Getting
get
our bands this
Yeah, I used to
weekend. I
weightlifting.
can't
walk,
wait.
Hey,
walk the park.
Snowman, you know what you're doing? You know what you're doing, Snowman? You turning your depression and you turning your depression into aggression, baby. That's what's up.
Yeah.
You're turning your
felt
depression into aggression.
after the chat I had with my wife this evening. Like I said, I felt like Popeye. That's all I can, with everything that's going on and all the times we've had doors slammed in our faces, me and Jody. I finally got to the point where I said, that's all I can stand. I can't stand no more.
No more.
And I also, if y'all remember the movie Network with Peter Finch, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Yep, good movie.
Everything that Peter Finch said in that soliloquy, when he went to the station out of the rain, applies today. And that movie was done in 1976. And I leave y'all with this because I'm a few minutes late and getting my stream started, and I hope y'all come over and talk with me. And for those in the chat, it's going to be a fundraising live stream because I want to get my family home. It's pretty simple. We're men, God damn it. Our life has value. And I think Peter Finch put it this way. I'll do the best impression of him that I can. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. And with that, I'm going to step away. I'm going to get my live stream started. Charles, if you would be so kind as to put the channel in the main chat, because it's here in the back chat. I'm going to get moving and I'm going to get fundraising. I don't know how much longer I'll be up, because I'll be doing that and working on some projects at the same time, getting ready for the week, because I promised my wife I'm getting them all done tonight, and I'm going to get them all done tonight. So I'll step away I love you guys, and I will talk to y'all soon. Hopefully, I will talk to y'all a little later on. So
Much love to you, Snowman. Much love, man.
much
Much
love,
love, brother.
much love. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
Love you too, bro.
No quiet.
So, AB, you from the Midwest as well, right?
Yep, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, yeah. So I ain't too far from you as well, man. Come on, Neymar. Neymar. Did you learn? Hey, did you get that name from the soccer player down in Brazil?
Me?
Hey, come back. Excuse me.
No, I think.
Hi, I just got in.
Oh.
It was good. Am I too late?
You're
No,
good.
come on, man.
All right. What? Oh, you mean my name? Oh, no, I didn't get that. That's an old nickname of mine when I was younger. But what you're talking about is
I got
Neymar. It's a different spelling.
Neymar. Yeah, you start. It's got an R
Neymar
at
is
the end of it.
fine. That's a different language.
Yeah. But I think that
By the way, if I was talking
appreciate
about Brazilian soccer players, if I want to talk about Brazilian soccer players, Neymar is a bit of a crybaby. I'll say that about him, and that's all I'm going to say about
yeah.
it.
Hey
So
man,
moving on.
my man was Fernandinho. He was the real deal. He was the real deal. His footwork was phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But
All right.
but what I was gonna say is that I appreciate you brothers because
phenomenal, Ronaldinho.
yeah, he was that deal. He was that real deal.
Ricardo,
I
that was
appreciate
great.
y'all.
I mean, we could go back and forth about that. We can go back and forth about
Yeah.
all that.
I really appreciate y'all brothers, man. Really I do because to hear like Snowman and Posada man Posada man, I appreciate you what you said in the beginning where you were saying, man, you want to blow this medical fraud wide open, man. Please do, bro. Please do, man, because I really truly believe that it's a detrimental to the cutting down of black men's lives. And man, I appreciate you bringing up and asking questions like that, man. And I really, really do, man, because diabetes run in my family. And I think with the most of us, it runs in our family, and we don't have the real deal on that. And I just really appreciate that, bro.
I have a question regarding that.
What is it?
Regarding the thing about medical, about black men and taking care of their health. I mean, first of all, how many black men, even though their family history, and if they don't know, how many of them have gone through like a genetic breeding of sorts, if they could afford it?
You know what, man? It's funny because, man, we worked. I mean, brothers, man, look, when they came up with the camp, like I was talking early on about my uncles, my grandfather. I mean, I'm
Charles.
only
Peace out.
3 me. All right now, all right, man. AB, peace out to you, bro. I'm only 2 generations removed from a sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather from Mississippi, Woodville County. My father was born in Missouri, and all they knew about is farming. And when I say when they farmed, I mean that was hard work. And I mean, but when you're doing that hard work and trying to feed your family, how much time do you really have to really see about your own personal health? You know what I'm saying? How much time you really have to see about your own personal health? And that I think with us as black men, we really need to invest more in our health, and so we can live longer, man. I mean, yeah, everybody saw me with a little bit of a red cup or whatnot. I'm not a big drinker, but when I get a hard day's worth of work, I like to sip on. But you know what? I'll put it down if it means I can live for another 35, 40 more years. If they tell me to put it down, I'll put it down. I'll put it down to cigarettes. But with us as black men, man, we work hard, man, and we don't invest in our health. And that's very good. That's a very good question that you asked, Neymar.
I appreciate that, big man. I mean, I can attest to this. I can attest to this.
I think because
My
black
father.
men.
Oh, by the way, first of all, brother, if I may, my own father, throughout some of the things he's done in his life, because he was a smoker and a drinker. He would have alcohol once in a while, but he was a smoker, and he had a stroke a few years back. But he's doing good now. But one of the things yeah. But my father was like a good example to me because I realized what not to do. Because when I was like around 18, 19 years old, he just looked at me and said, "I'm proud of you." I said, "What do you mean?" Whoa. Electrician. Sorry.
I'm here, brother.
I'm sorry, but that ringing from the car just kind of killed my ear for a minute. It was too hot.
All right, my bad, bro.
Anyway, it's cool. Anyway, what I wanted to say was like, from him, I learned not to mess with tobacco, not to mess with drinking. And of course, I remember when I was little, he made me watch a PSA. If anybody remembers from back in the day, a guy named John Mosquito Jr., white guy who could talk super fast and everything.
Vaguely remember, vaguely.
Okay, he did a PSA where he was talking about stop smoking and whatnot. I remember when I was little, I laughed my ass off when I saw it, but I understood why not to. But like you talk about, like, give up all that stuff. I know too many people of my father's generation, because I'm East African. Too many of his generation have been plagued by the time they're in their 40s with type 2 diabetes. And really hard. We're talking people losing a leg or two because of that shit. And combined with high blood pressure and everything, you're a time bomb.
There's something called neuropathy, and it comes from peripheral vascular, the lack of the heart not being able to. You have a supra vena cava, you have an inferior vena cava, you have a venous and arterial side of the heart. What happens is the pullback. You know what I'm saying? We joke on women about not having that snatch back or whatever. Over time, the muscle of the heart, if it doesn't have that snatch back without growing to we call like a myocarditis, or that's the inflammation on the outside sac, but like a myocardium where the muscle of your heart just gets so big, the chambers get so small, and not so much blood flow is moved and pulled back from the heart. You have what we call edema, swelling of the lower legs. They put you on these medications called all these medications and things, and sometimes it's a rabbit hole. More people die from a broken heart than die from an open dreamer heart. I mean, there's so many. I mean, open heart surgery it's not like that. They usually go through a femoral artery and do a cardiac cath, but more people die from a closed, hard-driven heart than an open, free heart of living. That's the reason why they tell black men, man up, not be childish. And yes, black men will definitely man up, but there's something about having a heart of a child, having a hard beating heart that is open and free and pulls back and rejuvenates and keeps pushing, because you can't rejuvenate the cardiac cells. However, we're pushing against that ideology, and this one man pushes and tries to be God, but it's not trying to be God. We're just working with what God has given us. So I've been skating more, working out more, going on trails, getting my cardiovascular, trying to drink more water, because you have to work on your heart, lungs, kidneys. heart, lung, kidneys, because you have a bicarb, which works with your heart and your lungs, and that's when you end up in metabolic acidosis and metabolic acidosis, and you also can end up in a um a acidosis when it comes down to your respiratory system as well. When you hold on, when you breathing too much, or you can run into a respiratory downfall when you're not breathing too much, or you're building up on carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. And your capnography falls low, and that's when your CO2 levels get up and you start falling asleep. And that's when your liver comes into play with how good your liver is, and how much, because your liver, it actually reserves more blood than your heart. So if your liver spills over to your gut, and that blood breaks down into your gut, it creates ammonia, which puts you to sleep. So if your CO2 levels is up and your ammonia is up, you're going into a DMT, definitely sleep. Now I rest there and I shut up.
I just realized something. When it comes to type 2 diabetes, the first areas to be affected of your body is your lower extremities. You know that, right? So I'm not just talking about your legs. I'm talking also about your nether region. You can end up having irreversible nerve damage down there. So if black men realize that, they be taking their blood sugar level, they be taking this diabetes things a lot more seriously. Also, some people can end up going.
So what you're saying is true. So so that glucose ends up building the capillaries of your eyes. So you start seeing dumb shit and sparkles and shit, and then they also can get to the capillaries of your dick. So sex won't feel as good. Your dick will be numb somewhat.
The motherfuckers knew about that, they'd be like, "Oh shit, I need to take care of my diabetes right now." Also waistline, because a lot of us gotta worry about that waistline.
Or be on top of your cleanses. You change your eating habits.
You can drop your blood sugar with good hydration. When a person comes into what we call DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, or HKKS, where they come in this where it is pissing a lot, but their blood pressure or the diabetes isn't dropping, but they're type 1. There's ways to treat this shit, but what you don't want to do is try to keep replacing their fluid and electrolytes without letting the sodium bicarb, the sodium potassium, checking their bicarb, and letting things stabilize before you start to replenish electrolytes, because you can put someone to what they call hyperkalemia, where their potassium level can be so high due to the sodium potassium pump, the glucose, and how it's all supposed to pool. And they also, it's so much that goes into this shit, man. So much that goes into this shit, man. And it's so much going to this shit, man. And balancing it, and trying, even in the emergency department, and balancing it and trying to keep a person from getting, because you can come in intubated. We might have to intubate you if your diabetes gets too high. I seen people come in with blood sugars in the 1000s and end up intubated. They end up doing this thing called Kussmaul's breathing. All my diabetics know about that. But AB, you still here? Nah, all the boys gone. But man, I ain't going to it.
Yeah, he said it's no joke. My godmother reversed hers because she changed up her whole diet. He had this. I mean, she gave me that news like, yo, I ain't diabetic no more. I was so proud of her, man.
Well, a lot of women are bypassing. see, Charles Faulkner. One thing these women are not telling you is they're being diagnosed as diabetics, but when they had a gastric bypass, they're being able to break diabetes, only for it to come back later harsher when they end up gaining the weight back. It's almost like cancer. It's sad.
Man, you got to think about gastric bypass. A lot of them should not have gotten it. Think about it. My female friend rides a bike miles and miles. You know what she got? Eyes like a weightlifter and an ass, no stomach. And she's 41. And she was 50 pounds overweight as a PE teacher. So think about it. Bikes are relatively pretty much low impact. You'll burn off whatever the fuck you want to eat, change your diet. I mean, it's a damn shame that the only time I see predominantly fit females is at Comic Cons or Blerdcon and the community. That's another reason why I go because hey, shit, if you haven't seen the two chicks in my thumbnail, that's one of the reasons
Uh-huh.
I like going. But at the same time, black women, I mean black people period, but black women are starting to become on average bigger than their men. Okay? So think about
Exactly.
it. When you're becoming so fucking big to the point where you're not even overweight anymore, you're morbidly obese. You're weighing as much as
Ooh.
professional football players. And remember, those football players are 270 pounds of muscle compared to 270 pounds of fat, which holds more volume. So you're taking up less space with a much more fluffier, fluffier substance or cell, and you're not getting the men you want because you're afraid to even change what the fuck's been up with you.
But football players have unfortunately been suffering some of the same problems because of the that's just why they're looking for a more leaner. If you notice, football has got more leaner.
Yeah.
Do
I mean,
notice that. Yeah, like
you
they
got
be
to look
doing.
at it like guys like Ray Lewis and guys like who else? Ray, Ed stayed in pretty good shape. A lot of those guys, the more modern or the quintessential football player, like they look like they could still play. I mean, look at Shannon Sharp. I mean, shit, you got a guy who looked like look at what's call it, Terrell Owens. But it also takes about how do you take care of yourself after you play. You know what I'm saying? Well, not that, but
Hey, bro, I got hardwood floors in my house where I'm staying in, and I'm skating around right now. Like hold on, listen.
Are you doing that Tom Cruise scene in Risky Business?
No, I actually got some skate. I actually got some skates on. Like I skate a lot. I skate, bike, nature walk. I do all that shit because I'm trying to figure out ways. Because black men, we have to figure out ways to be stress relievers without drinking or smoking.
Oh
Apart.
yeah, shit. Mm, get back into my talent. Shoot, nobody stress me out. I'm gonna play video games to the day I die. Shit, I'll get off riders. So any woman marry me, you better know when it's my me time, I'm playing video games. I want to hear your mouth. Bills is paid, money's in the bank. Sheesh, dinner's fed, kids is being behaved. Now it's me time. Shit.
Man, once I find the other pieces to my camera, I'm a daggone cam up, and I'm gonna show y'all on my skates. I'm out here. I'm out here. I stay on these skates. I got a new apartment. It's efficient. It's chill. My rent went down. I'm out here and I can skate around this bitch, yo. I skate around this bitch like I'm at Sonic or at the skating rink. And I've been posting stuff, like stuff me going to the skating rink and stuff like that.
I think that most times in the manosphere, we don't post shit of us having fun. People think, oh, we talk about women. If you think about this stream, I barely talked about women, except the mothers, not allowing their children to see their fathers for a little bit, just for a quick second, and the girls, the fine ass girls at Blerdcon. We don't. I mean, we need to post more. Like, if you see about my shit, I truly live the multifaceted man life. I'm not a rich man. Never say I will. Maybe one day, hey, but I have fun with my life. You're gonna see me when I'm at Blerdcon having fun. Fuck it. It should be a Manosphere meetup at Blerdcon, since so many guys in the Manosphere love video games, anime, comic books, Star Wars, Star Trek, geek culture. Period. So here it is. You're gonna find a lot of fine ass chicks. You're gonna find a lot of cool ass brothers. I did. Shit.
Man, when you went skating, bro, there are a lot of fine women at the skating rink.
Oh hell yeah! See the problem with a lot of these damn fools, man. Where like they complain about women.
But he go out. Am I?
Yeah,
I ain't hitting her. Yeah, you bet. Yeah.
I pulled my mic out by mistake. I was saying, yeah, like, yo, you hear these guys complain about women so damn much and shit. They mean when you provide solutions, it's more to counteract more complaints. But I'm like, you know what? How much more complain you want to complain about the women so much? Maybe at the end of the day, it might be just you, also too. I mean, try to tell a fool on a panel of the day and everything, like, yo, I meet with feminist submissive women all the time, and I live in New York City. I hang around them. I try to give them some game, like, yo, feminist submissive type woman that y'all want hang and pats each other. You're not going to see them in a club. You can't go in the club, especially having to go to the strip club. You're not going to find one over there like that. And I suggested, like, you know what, go to the park. Well, you might find hoes in the park. You know what? I don't want to deal with you. That's the point. I just give up on these fools, man. Like, yo,
I say find girls that have hobbies, and the reason why I say skating is because you find a girl that's cool and knows how to balance. Even if she does drink, she knows how to balance it enough to keep it smooth and skate and keep it groove. And a lot of skating, especially you gotta work with each other to make sure you don't fall. And even if you fall, you gotta help each other up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, excuse me. Hell yeah, man. Like, yo, find out your hobbies and go to spots where they pertain to your hobbies. You might find someone that like the same shit as you do. So you meet the women at. Then at the end of the day, too, it don't depend on you as the man also too. I tell them all the time, like, you keep attracting toxic women because you like toxic women. And you complain about them. Try to change the toxic woman. So I'm at the point now I just don't want to hear no more of these dudes talk woman this, woman that, but yet you still fucking them, right? Yeah, I can't help it, blah, blah. And you know what? Nah, no, I don't think so. Charles, I'm going to be at Blerdcon next year. Hopefully I can go to Comic-Con this year, man. Shit.
I'm going to tell you what. Black men need to enjoy their lives, man, and go out there and have fun. Even if you're, well, man, I ain't into the shit. I don't want people to see. Guess what? Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
All the weed smokers, man, you have more weed than more weed and more burning bush than Moses. So shit.
Hey, yo, I was the fault they told niggas in the manosphere that skating was for homosexuals and gay.
There's a lot of straight men. Straight men got their life off of fucking skating, dude.
Exactly. Do you know what it's like to teach a woman how to skate and the trust she has to give you, not to embarrass and bust her ass? Man, that's some player shit. Do you remember you
know how to skate, right? Know the moves.
Every black man being in a skating rink, every black man being able to skate and do his damn thing and show his swag in a skating rink. Come on, yo.
Question. Most likely, your fathers went to skate rinks. Maybe even your grandfathers. But guess what? They were probably, and they were those men were probably more manlier than the men now.
Of course, they wasn't scared of women. Shit.
So you got to think about it. They were getting women hand over fist because women always admired the men who could do something that they can't. If they had trouble doing something, they didn't have a problem with it.
Sheesh. I don't know, man. Sheesh. Start losing more and more hope of these little youngsters
But
these
you know
days.
what? These women taking these dudes ice skating and these dudes is talking some and these dudes out here busting their asses. I don't want to ice skate. Man, take her to that skating rink, show her your swag, and then step it up on a Christmas after you done spent some time with her. Cause this my next thing, yo.
Just having fun, yeah. Like shit. If you know skate, have some fun and enjoy the company of her, man.
Enjoy it, and that can be a part of vesting. If you can't skate with her, if y'all can't vibe together and trust each other on a skating rink, on the wheel of life, then maybe y'all shouldn't be rocking together. I mean, take a skate and have a good time, and just have a good time skating around, catch some air, catch a drift.
What do they say, man? Like women love dancing. They love a man that show. They love a man that leads.
Man, you gotta think. Women are always gonna admire men that can teach them something. So
Exactly.
that's part of the goal right there, man. Part of the goal. Like if you could make a woman feel at ease, you won like 60 to 70% of the battle. It's
Mm-hmm.
a, and a lot of guys, there are some guys in the manosphere who unfortunately are just curmudgeons. We're not trying to build a curmudgeon society where let's fuck them women. No, have fun with your life, man. I know if Sad Dog was stateside, he would have loved Blerdcon, man.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? God willing, Charles, man. Next year, if you do, like I said, man, if you do Soldier Boy, I will do my best to come to Blerdcon. I'm telling you, Homelander, but in African American flag colors, and instead of the eagles on the shoulder, I'll have two panthers. So I'll come. I'll
Oh, the
come.
Panthers, yeah, on the show.
I will come. I will come as Wakanda Homelander.
Condom. That'll be tough. I would love to see that.
Or put it in, come as the Homelander.
The Homelander.
Nah, man, it'll look legit, man. I would have it. I would have it look legit, man. I'm certain that will get me on a lot of cosplay Instagrams.
Oh yeah, you would be. People would ask you like you would have to go to the You would have to go to the contest that day. Pull
Yeah.
that shit off. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to do either Captain America, or if I can't do Captain America, I'm gonna do Soldier Boy. Then I want to do.
Wait, Charles, you forgot. There was a black Captain America. I'm not talking about Sam Wilson.
You talking about
Isaiah Bradley. You can
Oh
be the
yeah,
young Isaiah
Josiah, yeah,
Bradley.
Josiah, yeah.
oh yeah, because I'm either gonna do Bradley or I'm not gonna do Sam Wilson per se because one of my buddies, Corey, he got that on lock. And it's like I want to do Rick James Flair. Yep, Rick James Flair.
That'll be but it's crazy. Like I was hearing you guys talk, man, and one of the things, when I was watching one video, and this guy was saying only 24.2% of men in America work out, right?
Mhm.
And so when I hear a lot of guys talk about the manosphere, like especially when you talk about young women, and unfortunately, there are a lot of men who have never, I didn't know this. I thought it was common, right? Because again, guys like Charles or whatever, again, that's my pool. I played high school football. I boxed, I do MMA and all that stuff. So it's common for me because, military, my fraternity. So, these are the pool of guys I'm around. So I thought it was a norm. And so what I've come to find out is that if only 24.2% of American men work out, that means that a majority of men have never experienced youthful invincibility. You know what I'm saying? That, so like when I was 17 years old, man, I was shredded. Like, I was fit. Like I said, I was fit. I was ripped. You know what I'm saying? I was ripped from head to toe. And when you're young, be it if you're a man or a woman, you are going to feel invincible when you're young, especially when you're in shape and you have your physicality together. So now you're young, you got your physicality together, you got that youthful invincibility, and you're spoiled for choice, right? So what happens is that for men, okay, if Sandog missed out on a nice girl or two, for men it's different, right? Because biologically and everything else, right? I won't suffer the same consequences for missing out on somebody great as a young woman would. Whereas for that young woman, if I'm a young woman and I'm a pretty young girl and I'm spoiled for choice, right? And so you got youthful invincibility, and on top of that, you're spoiled for choice. I remember I was talking to one of my homeboys when we were in school. He was talking about girls overlooking him, but he was 19, 20 years old with a dad bod. And I'll never forget. I was like, fam, if I was that girl, put yourself in her shoes. If I was that girl, I'm like, yo, I got all my life to fuck somebody with a 40-inch waist and tidy whities. Right? So, yo, I'm a 19-year-old girl. You damn right I'm gonna go for 6-packs and a shredded back while I can get my hands on it. And so
want a nigga with a back like a Christmas tree.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, a lot of young men have not experienced what I call youthful invincibility. And the thing about it was, even for me, like I will tell you, hands out, I didn't start screwing until I was 20, right? And it's not that I couldn't. It's not that I couldn't. It was just that I was afraid. I've already seen so many women ruin men's lives. And so when I was a young man, I was afraid of poverty. There was two things I was afraid of: my dad and poverty, right? And so my whole thing was, okay, I don't want to go out into this world and trip over anything that's going to put me right back to where I started. And so for many of us, man, that vulnerability that you feel about women, especially when you're young, that all of that would also be tied to what was your physical status as a young man. Because when you, and like I said, and I know it may sound anecdotal, but it's the truth, man. Women respect discipline. So a fit body is a sign of discipline. When you dress a certain way, that is a sign of discipline. So, for example, when you would hear some women in our community, you see a young man that's got his stuff together, and you immediately assume that he's into white women or other groups of women and everything else. That's because that woman knows in her heart of hearts that, hey, I cannot appeal to a disciplined man. Right? So a woman, any woman that will push a guy away because he's fit or he's got his life together and everything else, then she has a whole different set of issues or whatever that's going on. Like I said, that's going on within her. And so for a lot of guys, man, sad and most unfortunately, you did not have that youthful you didn't have that youthful invincibility. And for many guys, that's something that's in your control. Because I saw it, I had a front row seat of it, man. I had dudes that I grew up with that looked like the goddamn werewolf of London. But from the neck down, these dudes were built like WWE wrestlers, and they had zero problems getting women. Zero. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff, man, is tied into, again, as a man, your ability to live a disciplined life. And a lot of guys have not experienced youthful invincibility. And like I said, again, for men, the way you pay for it in the long term with your youth is if you procreate with the wrong woman when you're young, right? And then you get all of that drama. And then for women, basically it's the same thing. When you're young, if you either pass over or don't choose the right person to be with, again, it's an effect that kicks you in the ass. It's just that for men and women, it may hit you differently at different times of life. Right. And so now what you're talking about is when you're dealing with young people of both sexes, especially if they're experiencing youthful invincibility, then if they don't have that wisdom themselves, usually in other communities, there are people that can help them navigate through that time in their life. Right. And so again, if there's any young men or whatever listening to this, man, I would say again, invest in discipline, invest in obtaining youthful invincibility.
I would also say this too. Certainly there's the reality also too. Not just the physical, it's the mental. You know, they got to get their mind frame and learn how to take some turn downs. And, you know, because they'll teach them in
Yeah,
life.
it's all tied. That's what it's all tied together.
Exactly. Life, you know what I'm saying, is not guaranteed to you. You're not entitled to certain things, and it should a no should not be the end of the world, even from a woman and stuff. I mean,
But that's what
I had a debate with a damn dude earlier and everything. His whole thing is I don't like when a woman make it easy on me. You know, she's so enthusiastic to get with me. I look at her size. I'd rather say no so I could try harder. That's discipline. I looked at her, I was like, "Are you stupid?" I mean, so if women say no to you and you going, that's a sign for you to try harder. I mean, why do you think the Me Too movement was freaking created the way it was? Because you're gonna get a lot of dudes fucking trapped and fucked up like that, man. Like, yo,
yeah.
teach dudes like, yo, no means no. It does not mean try harder. Like,
I'll be very honest with you, man. And like I said, especially if you haven't experienced youthful invincibility, I'm going to tell you something right now, right? And I wish Alan Roger Curry was on this stream, and Charles could tell you. I'm
that's
going to
my
tell you,
man.
women had mode 1 before men did.
Say that again.
If women, what Alan Roger Curry calls mode 1, women had that before men did. If you, like I said, I am telling
Oh,
you.
being straight direct.
Yeah, being straight and direct. I've had it. Look, but I'm telling you, since I was 16 years old, man, I've had I've had it where women have flat out have come to me of various ages and stated their case to do whatever or asked to do whatever it is that they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So women, at least from my little anecdotal experience, women have had mode 1 much longer than men have had it. Because again, when they if you if you are attractive to a woman and she's feeling you and she likes you, it will be blatantly obvious. Blatantly obvious. Very few, at least to me, and I'll ask Charles to confirm, but very few women have that kind of, play it cool. At least in my experience, they have very few of them have that kind of, okay, I'm gonna play it cool vibe. When they like you, they like you.
When a woman likes you, she can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's almost head over heels. That's why they're flirty. They're girl like. It's like similar to a father and a daughter. They can't help but to be vulnerable. Help but to be, because they feel so protected, and two, they feel so loved. So when a girl likes you and she's really putting herself on the, you got to remember, for a female, there's a lot she's gonna put on the line, because to the wrong guy, she could be asked out on the father.
Mm-hmm.
To the wrong guy, she could be asked out, and this guy forces himself on her. So there's a good amount that she's gonna put on the line to be vulnerable. And see, people don't understand this. You got to see the vulnerability of a female. And a lot of guys you see who gets trouble, these so-called. See, here's the problem, and it goes back to what the captain said. A lot of these guys get worried about these jawline nigga shits and all this other stuff, and people may say, "Well, it's easy for you, Charles." No, it wasn't, because I had to build myself into the man that I want to be, physically or attractive to the opposite sex. Just as many times at Blerdcon, I was looking at women. Women were liking what they saw too. Hell, I ran three random chicks. Hey, they hugged my boy when we were talking. And I said, "Shit, I wish I could get a hug." And all three of them hugged me and was like, "God damn, you smell good." And I love the way your arms and your chest feel. So, how many of these guys who are 5'5", 5'6", 5'7" work on their bodies?
Fact. Because guess what? My personal trainer is that height, and he ain't got no Z. He ain't got zero problem. And you know what? Charles just hit something on the head too that a lot of guys aren't hip to. That God rest his soul, Kevin Samuels tried to teach you that cologne game, fam.
Exactly.
That cologne game.
Most important thing right there.
You dress good, that you and smelling good, having a smell that is distinctly yours, that belongs to you. So if I smell Tom Ford, right, I know that that's Charles Faulkner, right. I'm telling you, man, this is something. It's not only something appealing, but appealing. It's not something appealing, just appealing, but it's also endearing.
Mm-hmm. Cologne game is the most important part of the game, man.
Yeah. So again,
Yo, the proper clothing, man. I mean, that was the biggest debate. Kevin was alive, man, with the debate. But sometimes you can't dress the same way every time. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna put it this way because I've seen this reel from Steve Harvey. Now I know we make fun of him sometimes and every day, but I do give him credit. You know, when it came to the suit game, and technically, I guarantee Kevin probably say the same thing. All you need is 5 suits. You can turn 5 suits into 75 suits with the proper piece.
Yeah.
Black one, a cream one, gray, dark blue,
and a brown.
You can make same 5 suits out of it. I would even add white 6. All white one.
Yeah. And you got to think about it, right? When I took here's another thing for all you guys who like to visit cons. Make sure you take a shower fucking regularly. I take at least average 3 showers each day while I was at the con. And women were loving the different colognes and the different oils. Like, imagine having peppermint oil in your beard. And women, here's a key thing men don't understand. Women have a greater sense of smell and taste than men.
Oh yeah.
Use it against them. So a lot of times when I talk, and people be like, "You're talking low," so they have to come in closer. So they're like, "Ooh, wow, you smell great." I know. And you got to be a little, how can I say it, a little cocky, just a little bit. Women love a reassured man. They love men with cockiness. You don't want to be over arrogant, but just enough cocky. It just tantalizes a woman's interest. Like, this nigga act like he can't be with me. Like, this motherfucker almost act like he doesn't need me.
Yeah, got that right.
And that actually draws them more. Go ahead, fellas.
Exactly. You know what? That was my whole thing when with the pineapple physics dude and everything. I wasn't getting on the girl like that and everything. I know me and Charles, we had a little disagreement on that, but technically, like, if he was a little bit more cocky, charismatic, charisma, she would have been more attracted to him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because a lot of dudes don't know how to do that. Like, like they lead with they title and their status. That's good, but you know what? What about the cockiness, charisma?
Yeah, but
make it work for being a title. You want to know what I really do? Then I'm gonna make you work for it. Work for those information. Lay back a house.
But again, all of that comes with physicality. So for example, if you have like a young son, right, or child in general, if you want them to develop confidence at an early age, that comes with sports, right? That comes with sports, and exercise and being, like I said, and being a part of a team, right? So a lot of the guys that you saw in high school or who were in college, right? These were young men, who join modern day hunting parties called sports teams, fraternities, whatever it is, right? Be it healthy or unhealthy, right? And this is where they establish a positive identity for themselves, right? Or to some extent, what some people will call positive male identity.
Yep.
Right? So again, it kind of, like I said, it starts, like I said, it starts there. So like I said, for me, the sports teams, the fraternity life, all of that other kind of stuff, man. So, all of that stuff goes, it feeds into that. And so there are so many guys, right, who have never invested in themselves on the level to have those experiences. And because they didn't make that investment. So like even now, right, in today's world, a lot of guys probably grew up, I don't know, maybe during the metrosexual era or whatever the case might be. But for me, when I was a kid, it was Rambo, it was Action Jackson, it was Commando, it was Hulk Hogan, and all of these dudes were monsters and shredded. And so as a result of that, you had like a lot of young kids, especially in the 80s and stuff like that, in the early 90s, hitting the gym, wanting to be in the gym, wanted to be wanted to be a tough guy, right? And funny, it's even evident in our superhero films, right? How many, even Superman now was British.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Do you mean that you mentioned metrosexual? That you know what I'm saying? And being in the '80s, let me use Prince as an example. Wasn't a shredded guy, maybe a little athletic, but he wasn't shredded, and he was confident in his sexuality. He had a little artistic way of doing it, but he was still getting bitches like crazy.
Yeah, but Prince would be like an anomaly, right? So
I
not
wouldn't say that's an anomaly because there are plenty of guys like him even to this
Mhm.
day, and chicks love that. There's somebody like he just had to see that he still had a charm within him that you know what that ladies like and
Yeah.
stuff. He knew how to charm females. He knew the game of love. Like yo, Prince, like come on. You know how to get pussies wet like nothing. That's all them
Yeah.
songs he made. Shit. So you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna knock metrosexuals either, too, man. I mean, not my style and everything. I mean, I might little bit some of them, like maybe at least like 10% of them, like they know someone know how to
Prince
dress.
was on another level, fam. Prince wasn't a metro. Prince wasn't a that was that's a whole that like I said, that's a whole different level of game, man. That's a
Yeah,
whole
that would still be considered like metrosexual type and everything. Yeah, with his
yeah,
style.
man. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say.
And I
So
live in New York, so I see these dudes all the time. So you know, a lot of dudes be
yeah,
thinking they metrosexuals is in the in the
yeah,
in the
I'm
fruity and
from
everything.
yeah, I'm
Not
from
all of them. Some of them
yeah,
still get chicks.
yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, again, like I said, again, I know, but what I'm trying to say is again, remember, but what did Prince have? Prince could sing, he could play damn any instrument imaginable. What did Charles say? Like some kind of skill, things they can't do. So there was a lot to Prince that made him alluring. You know what I'm saying? Just more so than I'm just a regular guy that puts on nice smelling lotion and wears these clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Prince had a lot going on to him. He was a very layered individual, right? And at the same time, he was mysterious.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A lot of dudes don't know how to be mysterious. They pull their cards in one basket too much.
yeah,
Like, I make these chicks work for that information. Yeah, like the real problem is also too. They make it about the woman too much. It's like think about it this way. What was one of the biggest mistakes Anakin Skywalker did? Put his wife on a pedestal so much. Want to be so controlling? Like yo, can't control her like that. Like yo, things happen. That happens. Yeah, I understand your pain, but you put on a pedestal so much, like man, man, you go crazy. And then look what happened.
yeah.
Why they killed the damn chick? Force choked her ass and shit. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can't control. Yeah, you can't control people. What Anakin wanted ultimately was just not just right, but he wanted the ability to control outcomes, right? And you can't,
Exactly.
and that's not and that's something, again, logically, right? That's something that you can't do. And so you just have to respect the environment. Like what Charles was saying earlier, right? When you're talking about like an environment that's anti-father. So like I was doing a thing with Green Gorilla, right? And in 1662, we talked about a thing called paternus sequitur ventre, right? And basically it's a Latin term saying for what follows the womb. And that's in 1662, that's when the United States decided, or started with the colony of Virginia, that, you know, anything that came from a black woman's womb, right? Because black women would more than likely be slaves, will automatically be a slave as soon as the child is born. So from 1662 on forward, as soon as you came out of your mother's womb, if you were black, right, you were automatically a slave. And so I find it very interesting that, within the African American world, why certain debates that come from other communities impact our community so much. Because if I'm an African American woman, I'm looking at that moment in history, and I'm like, there was never a black male patriarchy in the United States to begin with, right? So if you got John Punch, getting a life of servitude, right? And this is before the Slave Act of 1705. So if you got John Punch getting a life of servitude, while his two European colleagues or allies get an additional 4 years each, and then go on with their lives, right? Like I said, I just wonder where a lot of people on the far left of our community like I said, get their ideas from, because based upon that term, what follows the womb, my question would be to black feminists: when did you ever live under a black male patriarchy, and when did black men ever have the tools to oppress you? What
Never
did
did. And that's the big okey doke that they fell for. And they're still falling for the day to this day.
Yeah.
It's just the
And so,
difference is now they got the freedom to make their own choices. Now y'all
yeah.
actually choosing fucked up dudes consistently. And what
Well,
will happen in your relationships, y'all still choose to have one self control over them. It was telling you ain't had to go through that mess with child support and all that mess. If you choose the right man, but even if y'all don't work out, he'll still take care of that kid. Give him custody of the kid. You don't even need to go to child support for that. Take the kid, let him take the kid. Kid live with him. You save your money. Problem solved. They don't want to do that. So they just say they other ratchet, single, messed up girlfriends and stuff, and some of them in their family and stuff like that, mothers, sisters, aunties, and all that. And then they want to go to child support, and then they want to, while they fighting back and forth, the child support hunting this man down until that child grows up to be older and out the door, and then all of a sudden you still want to bring up back child support and all that mess. Like sometimes it even be too late. But look at all the mess you done cause for your kid. You know that. They don't think
but
about that.
I don't know. But my question would be, but that's what I'm saying. So again, we're looking at it, right? Me and Gigi are looking at it, and so even when you get to the Revolutionary War, right, you would have black men that fought on both sides. So you would have the loyalists who fought with the British, right? And then you would have the other black men who fought with the Patriots, right? Who would become the United States of America. And both of them promised African Americans freedom. And both of them reneged, ultimately reneged on said promise. And so
Yeah.
now you're looking at, and this is what I was saying. So the same way we have these kind of Republican versus Democrat arguments in the manosphere, you could look back in history where probably amongst black people there were debates of whether it would be better to side with the British or the Patriots, right? And so the thing is that the thing is that maybe you need to observe history and gain understanding and say, you know what, I can no longer be a political football between these two factions of people, right? So if I'm dealing with something like institutional racism, right? And I got two factions of the same group that's imposing this thing on me, I should be equally skeptical about both, as opposed to wholeheartedly embracing one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I think that it's a fine lesson that's echoed through history to say that it will be in our best interest. It will be in our best interest to start sitting out on the cultural wars in the United States, because of many of those cultural wars that we participate in did not originate in our community.
Exactly. I feel we should be independent.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so or more independent in thought,
Exactly.
right? So so when you get to things like the feminist movement or these other types of movements, and you like, I don't have the same issues. I don't know what you're getting at, right? So at the end of the day, if I'm just saying, like, if I'm an African American woman, I'm like, these women own slaves. They again they enjoyed the fruits of what was happening at the time, right? Maybe they wanted more control or whatever the case might be, but some of these same people could rip your baby out your arms and sell it up the street, and you too.
Man, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I said, so maybe at the end of the day, it may be kind of like high time to, like, again, to stop engaging in things that doesn't serve your own interest, right? And maybe avoid, to the best of your ability, try to avoid using special interests to escape from being black.
I feel some people will never know that, man. And you get to the point when they feel like you got to choose a side. I'm like, the Jews didn't choose a side. They independent. They pay both sides. They focus on their people. They ain't that shit too also. So, and it worked for them so far. So why are we not doing it? Choosing one of the sides, we not gonna be winning no way. We're gonna still be separated. We're gonna be together. Yeah, we gotta choose the third option.
Yeah, yeah, or like you said, or to pick yourself. So there are just some fights that it might be in your best interest just to sit out.
Exactly.
And be like, yo, like that's those are some of your issues, and that's on you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think so. So that's where, again, probably that's where some of the confusion is. But now, man, I'm gonna go ahead and roll out. But Charles, man, like I said, God willing, man, I will try to come. I will do my best, and I'll try to come. I'll try to come to Blerdcon in 2023 as Homelander. Yeah, man. So I'll try to be honest. So yeah, man, you brothers be easy, man. And I try to keep AL on some of these streams, man. AL is one of my favorites, man. So I've been missing them lately. So yeah, man. So man, you guys be easy, man, and I'll holler at y'all.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah. Hell now too. Charles, you still there? I told me you fell asleep.
Oh, far from sleep, man.
Oh.
Oh, shit. But I'm going to end the night. Thank you all for joining.
I mean, I ain't going to good night, y'all. Woo!
And we out here.
Woo! Woo!
need to come to that Blerdcon next year. I'm just saying, folks. Woo!
Woo!